Hello, welcome to the first podcast on Suit and Tyler. This is Tyler,
And I'm Akira.
and we're going to be talking about the Avengers. Let me change that. We're gonna be talking about the MCU, and ranking our MCU films from worst to best. Every single one, and shit on each other for their choices. Do you want to start first? I can start.
You go first.
Yeah. There's 23 Marvel movies, and number 23, which I think is the worst out of all of them, is Thor 2. I know you really like the Thor movies, so...
You could go. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine. Explain yourself, please.
So, my reasoning is because rewatching the Thor movies, it is, out of all the Marvel movies I've seen, it is the most bland and forgettable one out of every single one. And I think to me, a bland and forgettable movie is worse than an actual bad film. Like, the villain, the Dark Elves, when we rewatched it, I literally didn't remember they were even in the movie at all till we got there. And I don't know them besides the Dark Elves now. I find it very just, like, not good.
I will give you this. It is not one of the best Thor movies. It is bad.
It's the worst Thor movie for sure.
It's the worst Thor movie, yes. I'll agree with that. My worst one, in my opinion,
I'm, like, scared.
was Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. See, Captain Marvel, I think was when I did it a long time ago, I think Captain Marvel was my worst one. Because I hate the character, but,
Yes, that was my reasoning. I didn't like the character. I wasn't really hyped. I was hyped for it in the beginning. Like, after Infinity War, when they did the end credit scene thing. I was hyped for it. I was going along. Saw the trailers. Lost some hype. Then I watched it. I didn't really like it. There were some parts I liked. Some of the movie was good. But overall, it was like the least forgettable character. I don't really care for Captain Marvel.
yeah, I don't like her either. It's funny watching...
I love Brie Larson, though. Don't get me wrong. Less on her movies.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Short Term 12 is a really good movie that she was in.
Never saw it.
That, like, sold me on her. And I was excited for Captain Marvel. But I have a problem with the character itself. I think she's kind of bland. And I'll get to... Well, I can talk about it now. So, I have it higher than Thor 2 on this list. Mm-hmm. Solely because I think Captain Marvel actually has a really good twist. A lot of that story is, like, whatever, but...
So Captain Marvel was your second to last?
Yeah, but turning the... I forget what the aliens are called.
I can remember either, to be honest with you.
Turning those aliens into, like, good people at the end, like the ones that, like, can be whoever they
You like that M. Night Shyamalan
like,
kind of...
Yeah, that, like, it turns out they're actually the good, like, are good guys, and they're just trying to find a home, and she helps them out. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was expecting them, especially in the comics, to be, like, the
Well, we're not far off then, because my second to last one was Thor 2.
Oh, really? So Thor 2 was next?
Thor 2 was next, so we're pretty spot on there.
Okay, so, well, that was your 22.
Yeah.
Your second. So next... The next worst would be, number 22 for me is Incredible Hulk. I think that's still...
Is that your third or your second one?
That's my second one.
Okay.
It's weird. I don't like Abomination at all.
Yeah.
He's a very weak villain. It's funny because...
And they switched actors too, and after that, it was like...
Yeah, and Edward Norton isn't a bad actor, but when you compare him to Mark Ruffalo, like, now, knowing what we know now, it's like, oh, Mark Ruffalo killed that role, and then Edward Norton was just there. Like,
yeah.
I don't like Abomination. I don't like that. I feel like the Incredible Hulk encapsulates, like, everything that... All the trappings that the Marvel movies have, where, like, the Incredible Hulk has the villain that is just Hulk, but evil. Like, it's not a unique... And a lot of these movies do that, where it's, like, the main villain has the same powers as the hero, because they don't know what else
I'm
to
going to be
do.
honest with you. When we watched Avengers and they finally brought back Hulk... Didn't remember that wasn't supposed to be the same actor. I'll be honest with you.
That's how bad.
Because I remember it ended. The Hulk movie ended. He had long hair, the beard, and stuff, and I was like, that makes sense.
It's still better than Thor 2 to me because at least it's a better origin. Like, it's a good origin story for the Hulk. Like, inherently the Hulk's origin story is more interesting than whatever the fuck was happening in Thor 2. So, like, I put it above that. And then you said...
I said Thor 2 was my 22nd. Yeah. What he said on the other one. I don't have to expand on that.
All right, so my 21. This is Captain Marvel.
Okay.
We've talked about that too. I think it's better than those two because at least there's that twist. There's some interesting stuff. Captain Marvel has the same problem that Wonder Woman 1984 has.
Yes.
they both Wonder Woman 1984 and Captain Marvel have the same problem in that they're both time periods, like period piece movies that don't capitalize on them at all. Captain Marvel's in the 90s. They dropped down on a blockbuster, and that's literally it.
It was in the 90s?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize
because
that.
it's Samuel Jackson when he's younger, and they don't capitalize on that. When it I was born in the 90s, so barely, but I still have fondness for it. I always say, being born in 1998, I just age myself on this. I just say, I say that being born in 1998. I was grown up in the 2000s, but the 2000s, a lot of it was just 90s reruns anyway. And we still had a lot of so I'm I feel like a 90s kid anyway. It's such a great time period and they don't really utilize it that well. Same with Wonder Woman.
They kind of did. They used more music somewhat.
Yeah, more than Wonder Woman. Yeah. 1984 has nothing, which is insane to me. But, yeah.
All right, my next one would be Hulk. Basically what he said. I thought it was cool. As a kid, I saw it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Saw it. Now, once I got older, I was like, this is kind of bad.
Yeah, Hulk as a kid.
Hulk was the best as a kid.
Going through these Marvel movies, I'm like, wow, I really have a huge attachment to them. Because it's crazy to think about how young I was when they first happened. And I grew with them. Thinking about Hulk when I rewatched it, it sucks that it's not as good. But as a kid, I was all into it. And back when there was Hulk and Iron Man, and that's literally it. It's fuck yeah.
Hey, Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, the Sam Raimi, but that's a different.
Tobey Maguire, shout out.
Yeah, hell yeah. The Sam Raimi ones are amazing. So 20 for me, which I think you might not like, is Iron Man 2.
What? Oh, you put it over 3?
Iron Man 2.
You put it over 3?
You should know I've liked Iron Man 3
for
a while.
Come on.
Iron Man 2 is doubly disappointing because it's still Jon Favreau. I looked it up after, I'm like, this can't be the same director, and it is. And it's wow, he did one. I love Jon Favreau. He's an amazing director. And it's 2 is not as bad as I remember. I think I had it lower on the list before. Mm-hmm. And 2 is not that bad. But when you compare it to 1, when you compare it to what Jon Favreau has done and the rest of these movies, it's
2 is the one with all the superpower people, right?
2 is where Rhodey comes in, Black Widow comes in, Whiplash, Mickey Rourke. With the
okay, I'm right. I like that one. Yeah, no, I don't like your pick.
I'm telling you, Iron Man. The problem is that it's just it's not paced well. It's too slow. There's not a lot of the movie. There's no real conflict going on. It's a lot of setup. It's a lot of Mickey Rourke hits him for there's that one moment with the racetrack, and then the rest of it is Mickey Rourke kind of just tinkering away, and it's a lot of setup and build up, but no real enemies.
Iron Man's not doing You just don't have patience. That's all I'm hearing. You just don't have patience.
I definitely have patience. When it comes to movies, I don't. All right, you can go.
All right, now my 20th one, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It is not that. See,
all right, let me get my point across. Let me get my point across, all right? Okay. I grew up with the Sam Raimi ones, Tobey Maguire, right?
Yes.
Love them. Mm-hmm. Spot on Spider-Man. I loved it. Then the new one came out. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I saw it. I didn't really like it. I was like, this is kind of dumb. Mainly because I'm older now when it came out, and I just didn't have the same connection to it. And I just don't really find it that good.
No, I agree with you. Homecoming is not as good as those other ones. Homecoming is not as good as a lot of people say. And I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. That's kind of why I'll get to it when we talk about it.
Actually, no, I messed it up. It's Far From Home.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
That's what I meant. Far From Home is what I meant to say. My bad, people. My bad. I messed it up. You can keep it. I don't care. Far From Home. Yeah, no. Far From Home. That was kind of dumb. It was after the whole Iron Man death thing, and then the twist at the end, and guess what? Nick Fury wasn't there again. What? Boom! It's those aliens people. Come on.
Fuck you. No, I thought it was Homecoming. Homecoming I can get behind where I'm like that. hurts, but
Far From Home.
Far From Home's great.
Far From Home to me was bad.
See,
that's my 20th. That's my 20th. Guess what my 19th is?
We'll get to
Homecoming. Yeah, I said it. Back to back terrible Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, come back, please. Come back in the next one.
I really hope he does too. I like the idea of the multiverse stuff going. But
you too, Andrew Garfield. I even liked yours better. I would rank yours higher than what's his face? What's his name? What's that actor's name for the name? What's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Oh,
Yeah.
my voice. Well, I need more.
Yeah, I'd put Andrew Garfield over Tom Holland's movies.
No, not Andrew Garfield movies. Though I like Andrew Garfield a lot, and I like one a lot, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a terrible.
I don't know. That was pretty. When Gwen Stacy dies, bro.
There's the best. The best thing I can say is that scene's good because I think it's visually interesting. There's a lot of
bro, and
really
then
nice
hold
visuals
on, and then in the new ones, right? And the Tom Holland ones, they made Aunt May a MILF.
Yeah.
Come on, that's not Aunt May.
Yeah, but
and Tony Stark's hitting on her all the time.
You notice that, which is actually really funny when you think about the Pepper Potts stuff. And
yeah, like what happened?
He's supposed to be in love with Pepper Potts, and then he's just totally flirting with this aunt. But
exactly,
exactly, it's clear when you watch Homecoming. Homecoming came out after the Sam Raimi trilogy, Tobey Maguire movies, and then you had 2 movies with Andrew Garfield. One of them basically redoing the first Tobey Maguire movie. Mm-hmm. And Homecoming, when you watch it in that context, is very obviously doing everything it can to not do those movies again. Everything, it's trying to do everything.
What do you mean? They kind of do the suit thing and everything?
No, but Aunt May is a perfect example. It's we're gonna make Aunt May a MILF. We're not gonna touch the origin story at all. We're not even gonna do it. It's been done before. They don't in Homecoming. They don't show Tom Holland swinging around Times Square, rarely at all. It's all in Queens because it's we've seen that before tons of times. Yeah. Now let's see that scene where he gets stuck in the freaking golf course and there's nothing to swing on. It's very, when you watch it, you start realizing how much they're trying to differentiate themselves. They're trying to do everything they can that's still Spider-Man, but that's not what Sam Raimi did. That's not what the Andrew Garfield movies are.
I just don't like Tom Holland. I'll say it. I don't care.
I think he's good. My issue with Homecoming and how Spider-Man's treated in that one is that he's a kid, and that's the point, is that he's supposed to be this kid who's way over his head, but it comes off as Tony Stark does everything for him. He can't do anything for himself. He gets his ass kicked in every single scene, and it just sucks when it's I'm used to seeing an older Spider-Man that's more proactive, I guess, more in charge of his life than Tom Holland is.
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is I won.
You won?
I won.
Wait, no. Okay, I'm still
20 and 19.
We're still talking about Homecoming. I haven't even got to Far From Home yet.
Okay. Fine.
Homecoming, I can agree with you because there's a lot of stuff about Homecoming.
Homecoming's 19 for me. Just saying.
It's a lot of nitpicks. I have a lot of nitpicks with Homecoming that bring the experience down for me because I am a huge fan of
the only reason I put Homecoming higher than Far From Home is because when we saw, when was it, Civil War, and Spider-Man came in, I was kind of hyped. So a little hype of it, and then when that new one came out, I was kind of hyped. That's why I put it over. But once I saw it, then I saw Far From Home. That's why Far From Home is lower for me.
I'm shocked that you think Far From Home is lower, considering you love the Sam Raimi one so much. Because of the cameo at the end.
You can suck. You can just shut up.
It should just be better.
No.
Just purely for that
just because of a cameo, it isn't going to do anything for me.
It did a lot for me.
Okay.
It did a lot for me.
There you go. You could be persuaded. I can't.
I guess so, yeah.
I'm a shit movie.
Why I think Far From Home is a shitty choice for being that much lower is because...
Why? Just going to be in his, top 10.
Well... I don't want to say that yet. I'll keep it in mystery for now.
Okay.
But Far From Home is better than Homecoming to me because it has a much better villain. It shows a lot. I've always thought that
You and the little twist, I swear.
no, it's not even the twist. Like, because if you know Mysterio, you kind of expect that. But and to be fair, they do a good job of really like they convince you that like Mysterio is a hero in this one. That this is different, and they do a good job at doing that. But and then they twist it. It's Mysterio is exactly how he is. I love Jake Gyllenhaal too, so that might be.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Prince of Persia,
but
underrated.
I've never watched it.
What?
No.
It's a good movie. I like it.
I don't know. I'm like scared. I love Prince of Persia the game.
I never played the game. I just saw the movie.
Oh, you're a bitch. You're a fake fan.
How am I a fake fan? I don't know. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch it, and I liked it. You might not like it, but
yeah.
It's got a twist, so you might actually,
Maybe I
because
will.
you like twist movies.
I do like twists, unless if they're done right. I mean, there's a lot of shitty twists.
Yeah, like
like what? Far From Home.
no, I was gonna say like the Avatar of the movie, but yeah, The Last Airbender.
I mean, the twist was that it's fucking dog shit.
Yeah, that was the twist was the name changes. That's what it was.
Yeah, the twist was when he said "ong."
Yeah.
You're like, oh fuck.
Or Sokka. No, not. What was it? It's like Sokka and Sokka.
It's like what Rian. I was gonna say Rian.
Brienne.
No, I always pronounce Ryan Johnson's name Rian because that's how it's spelled,
Oh.
and I'm like, that's wrong. I'm not. It's like what Ryan Johnson. It's the whole Ryan Johnson thing of like, hey, it's different, therefore it's better. It's better because it subverts expectations, solely because it subverts the expectation, not because it's better. Anyway, again on tangents.
Okay, go. Go with your number 19 since I already said mine.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go with 19.
I won.
No, you didn't. Number 19 is Thor. Thor 1.
Thor? Are you kidding me? Thor 1 is your 19? Why?
When I rewatched Thor, it was a lot better than I remembered. Thor 1 is a good origin story for Thor. It does a really good job at setting...
And Hawkeye. Don't forget Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's not an origin story.
Hey, he was in it. Okay?
Yeah,
he's in it.
That's like saying Iron Man 2 is freaking Iron Patriot's origin story.
It is. It actually is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like
no, it is
not the focus.
Oh, whatever.
To
each his own.
Thor 1 is a lot better than I remembered. I remember not liking it a lot at the time.
Okay.
But I really like the intro. I think it does a good job. It does that fish out of water thing of like Thor not understanding like Earth, which is really funny. It's always fun to see that stuff. They do interesting things with Loki, how they set that whole thing up. There's good twists and turns there. But Thor's biggest problem is its pacing.
What do you mean?
Because Thor starts off really strong and then rushes to the end. And then it's like, oh, it's over? Oh,
what do you mean it rushes to the end?
I wanted to see more. I wanted to see Thor spend more time on Earth. Spend more time doing that like fish out of water thing. Growing like that to that point where he's worthy. They needed more time to show...
He died, bro. He died like, for the people he loves.
Yeah, but like... Hold up.
He knew he would die, and that's enough to be worthy.
It's like he's worthy because he tried to sacrifice himself at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I wanted more build up to get to that.
He made his dad cry.
But we need more build up.
He made Odin cry, bro.
We need more...
One eye, too. Come on. I bet if you try hard enough, you can see through his little patch, too.
We need more build up. Like, that moment could have paid off much better.
I don't know. I found it very profound, not gonna lie. I was like, oh no. Then when he gets the hammer, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
But it could have been better.
I thought it was amazing.
It could have been better.
Oh my god.
We needed more time with him learning.
I can't believe it right now. Right?
Worthy. Yeah, you thought you won, bitch.
I hate you right now.
Well, what's your 19?
I already said my 19.
Oh, yours was Homecoming.
Yeah, so you go. You say you're 18.
All right, 18. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh my god. Same.
Oh my god, we fucking... we agree on something. Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not as good as Ant-Man 1.
No.
It's kind of just a boilerplate comedy. I also have this very personal, not like hatred towards... I have a very personal hatred towards this movie. because I had the worst experience trying to watch this movie.
How so?
Me and my girlfriend, we watched it at a drive-in. And my dumbass fucking fucked it all up. We drove in, and I'm trying to set everything up. I thought I had the right radio station and everything. We park, the movie starts, and it's not the right movie. And we look over on the other side of the drive-in, and that's where Ant-Man and the Wasp is playing.
What movie were you watching?
I don't fucking remember, but it was like we got all set up just to realize we're in the wrong fucking spot. So we missed the whole beginning trying to turn around, drive over to the right spot. We finally get there, and we already missed like the whole beginning. We set up, and
This is why drive-ins are dead.
well, not anymore because of COVID.
This is why theaters are dead.
So we drive over to the right screen. We get set up. 30 minutes into the movie, we're having issues with the audio. I don't even know why we were, but we're having issues with the radio. It just wasn't sounding good. And then we try to turn the car back on, and it doesn't start. And the battery died. And so I had to go walk all the way to the front desk, ask, hey, can we get jumped? They come and start our car. We start watching a little more. We're already like, dude, we don't even know what the hell's going on. We missed so much of this movie. And then...
So did you ever even actually see the movie?
I did. I rewatched it later, but like, I think we rewatched it together in the room.
Oh, we did.
The dorm. That was when
We're all college roommates, by the way.
Yeah, that was when we watched it. That was when, like, I actually watched it fully. So they jumpstart our car. We're like, oh my gosh, we don't even know what the heck's going on. We missed all this movie, and then the car doesn't start again. So I had to get jump started again. And then by that point, we were just checked out. It's the ending. It was the finale, like the whole car chase and everything. We're like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Whatever. And we just chill. And then it gets to the end credits. And that's like the end credit scene was all I saw, really.
I mean, that pushed you into the...
And then I'm like, fuck this movie. It was a terrible experience, a terrible date.
Stay single, people.
Hey, luckily she's still with me. So.
No, just stay single.
And then I watched it with you and the rest of the guys in the dorm. And it's okay. It's like...
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
But it's just not... Compared to the other ones, it's not that high up. It's funny.
I feel like... I don't know about you, but for me, after Iron Man 2, from from 19 onwards, all these are good. It's just varying degrees of good at this point. I think anything below is actually, I think, bad films. But,
yeah, I would agree. Just because I liked it, but not... the other movies I like.
It's a good comedy. It's a good typical comedy action thing, and the Marvel formula done well. But that's it. It's not special. It's nothing special. So 17 for me. Is Captain America.
Really?
Yeah, I love Captain America. I actually think this is a great movie. I remember at the time when I was young watching it, when there was just the four and then Avengers. Captain America was my favorite. I love the character. I think this is a really good origin story. I know you're hearing that a lot from me, but I think it's a really good origin story. It's one of the most visually unique films out of all these Marvel movies. None of them look like it anymore. Its vision of the 40s is very distinct, and it's not like this old-timey dark thing. It's very clean and flashy, which is interesting. And no other movies really have that sense of style like the rest of them. Or no other movies really have that sense of style that this one does. So it stands out as unique. The issue with it that I have rewatching it was that it's too long. It kind of drags on. The intro's really good. And then the middle has good moments. There's a lot of good moments, but then it kind of drags, and Red Skull isn't really developed all that well.
You kind of have to know who Red Skull
Yeah,
is.
you have to know the importance of Red Skull because the
Yeah.
movie doesn't really do it justice.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Sure.
No, and the worst part about it is you get to the end and you have this climactic thing where he's chasing Red Skull and they're fighting in that like ship thing. Yeah,
the ship.
They're in the ship at this point. And Red Skull grabs the Tesseract and just dies. And that's how he beats him. Like,
Well, he didn't really beat him.
yeah, but that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's anticlimactic, and it feels like okay, let's get Red Skull.
It's not anticlimactic because if you watch it again, he thought he could control it, but he really couldn't. So it's just as big. I don't know what I'm saying. No, I agree with you. It's kind of dumb.
You're trying to be like the artistically defending.
Yeah, no, I can't.
So,
I can't.
well, to me, I mean,
Okay, now that you say it, that is kind of disappointing.
You can have your answer, but to me, it comes off as we need to get Red Skull out of here quick so we can have the finale moment where he sacrifices himself. Like, we just need to get to that point right away because Red Skull isn't important. Mm-hmm. Like, the movie might have been better if Red Skull wasn't involved, or
What?
I think it might have been better if it was cut that down even more. You either have to give it more, but then it becomes longer. Like, if you develop Red Skull, then you're making this bloated movie even more bloated.
I guess.
So, like, I don't know if that helps. I think you need to cut down some parts and either build up Red Skull or just cut down the Red Skull part and focus on Captain America fighting the Hydra and then like getting to that end point.
Show me a Hydra.
Show
me a Hydra movie. Let's see how they infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D.
Isn't that called Captain America 2?
No, they already
That 2
infiltrated
is a Hydra movie.
Basically, but I want to show the beginnings of how they infiltrated it.
Captain America 1's really good. I think a lot of people sleep on that movie. It's just that when I was doing this... Actually, now looking back at my list, remembering what my next one is, it was a really hard decision. Like, these two could be interchangeable. And as I'm talking about Captain America, I could see myself putting it as 16 instead of what I have as 16. And we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, well, my 17 is Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 16 is Iron Man 3.
Okay.
That's what I was talking about. I'm like,
okay,
I could
okay.
honestly see Iron Man 3 as a 17 for me. Like, that low. That was a really tough decision. I ultimately... Because I loved Iron Man 3 when it first came out.
I know you did. I didn't really like it, but...
Well, yeah, why didn't you like it?
I don't know. It was pretty kind of forgettable to me.
Really?
Yeah. Because the 1 was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
2, like... It was good because it was starting to introduce him to more stuff. And, like, when Brody's getting more and, like, it becomes War Machine or... What was it? What's his name again?
Rhodey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. 3, I don't know. It's just...
See, for me, 3... What sold me on 3 was the dedication to, like exploring Tony Stark's PTSD after Avengers 1. I loved all that part. It was a very personal, like, Tony Stark movie more than an Iron Man movie. And I thought that was a really good take. And I loved it for it. I also thought people crapping on the whole Mandarin twist was dumb.
I didn't like that. That's what I hate.
Like
no, I didn't
Why?
like. See, this is what I'm saying. Him and his twist.
No, I didn't like the twist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
No, you.
Sorry,
What? Yeah, you did.
No.
What?
What I'm saying is I didn't get... Yeah, no, go on.
See, because I was like, the whole time the trailers were like the Mandarin, you're like, oh shit, okay. I did some research, because I don't watch a lot. I don't read like the comic books or anything. So I was like, did some research on the Mandarin, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be cool. Like, and then you see like the things where like his house gets blown up and stuff. And it's like, and then you get to like, sure, it was funny. It's like, oh, it's just a dude, I'm Steve, like, I'm just an actor and stuff. And it's like, bro, what? It's just this other rich dude doing some other stupid stuff. It's like, what? Come on.
Okay.
It made me work to do research only to not get paid off.
See, that's your problem. I don't know anything about the Mandarin, to be completely honest.
Well, I didn't either until I did research on it.
But that, like, and I get why a lot of people are like, those are the Marvel, like the comic fans going, oh, we expected that Mandarin and we didn't get it. I get that. But in the context of the movie, I think it works really well. And I think it's an interesting, fun twist that, like, oh, he's not, he just turns out to be nothing. And then the real villain is Gillian. I don't think we need to see that Mandarin.
Did they ever explain how they took out the thing out of the Pepper Potts or whatever?
What thing?
The superhuman thing.
No, I don't think they do.
Plot hole.
They never do. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember it being
Yeah, because we just jumped to...
Or did they?
No, we just jumped to... If I remember, we jumped to Age of Ultron, and it's just... Whatever.
Plot hole. Another reason.
Maybe they do. Maybe there's a throwaway line.
Maybe we're just dumb, and we just don't remember.
I don't remember it. That was my thing. I loved Iron Man 3 when I was younger. And then rewatching it, I was like, oh no. Like, it kind of hurt. It is not as good as I remember. It's... That stuff I like so much isn't really as well developed as I thought it was when I was younger. Mm-hmm. It's kind of boilerplate's too rough. Like, that's too harsh on the movie. It does a good job. I mean, that's like...
Not really.
That's like every Avengers movie.
That he dies? Yeah. That's true. Why does he always die all the time? What?
Except for, like, Infinity War, I guess. But,
No,
if you think about it, Doctor Strange is... Anyway, we'll get to that. But,
Tony Stark dies every movie. You just watch it.
Right. So...
I was just saying, I think I won that one. The Pepper Potts thing really made him think.
No, yeah. Captain America, I think, is actually better than Iron Man.
Let's go. We won.
It's still a tough choice, because I really do like the character focus, the Tony Stark focus on Iron Man 3. I think him with the kid, everything there. The thing, though, is rewatching these movies, you jump to Iron Man 3, and Robert Downey Jr. is, like, arrogant to the max. It's like peak Tony Stark in that movie. If you watch it again, his mannerisms, it's like all the asshole Tony Stark moments just, like, hyper-drived. And it's kind of weird, because you're coming off of Avengers 1, like, it seems like it's spiked at that movie for an odd reason.
Because they wanted to make his death feel memorable. Well, now you said your 16th then, right?
Yeah, it was my 16th.
All right, well, my 16th is Age of Ultron.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I'll say it because it'll be up next. Age of Ultron's my 15th.
Okay.
So we're kind of in the same page here.
Yeah. By one.
Age of Ultron's another one that I loved when I first saw it. I remember being like, I don't get why anyone hates... A lot of people hated it at the time. I never understood. But rewatching it, it's still really good. It's just not as good as I remember. Same kind of deal.
Yeah, out of all, like, the Avengers movies, to me, that's probably, like, the bottom one.
For sure.
Like, I loved Quicksilver, loved Wanda. What happened to their accents? I don't know.
Hey, Wanda still keeps her accent.
No, she doesn't. Not after the new one.
No, she does.
Does she?
Okay, I say it because in WandaVision...
No, we're not counting that. We're not counting that.
She does.
We're not counting that. We're not counting that.
She
died.
No. I'm not counting it. I'm saying she dies it down a bit as the movies goes on, but it's still there. It's always still there.
Okay, well, Age of Ultron, I did like it with, like, the Vision, Quicksilver, and Wanda and everything. But out of all the Avengers ones, I gotta say that one's probably, like, it's not bad, but that's just out of all of them, I just have to say it's probably the bottom one. Just because it doesn't, like, yeah, you got Ultron and all the robots and everything, and Sokovia, or whatever the place is called, but it's like, it's not that impactful.
None of the ending stuff was that as impactful as I remembered.
Like, to me, not seeing everything that happened, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of the most... well, no, I'll take that back. It's actually pretty important to the... Like, Civil War... Civil War is almost the direct sequel to Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
So
I'll give you that. But I did like... It's not a bad movie. Like, I liked it. Like, I liked everything. The actor that does Ultron, what's his name? I always forget his name.
Is it like James Spader or something like that?
I think so. I love his voice. I don't know what it is.
You just reminded me. The biggest disappointment to me in Age of Ultron is I remember when those trailers were coming out, there's a fucking amazing line in one of the trailers. It's like, it's something this isn't word for word, but it's something like, it's Ultron going, they were supposed to look up to the skies and see hope. And then he goes, I'll take that from them first. And I was like, that's an amazing, like, really good villain line. Not in the movie at all. Those trailers paint Ultron as this, like, very serious, very scary villain. When you first meet Ultron in the movie, it's him with the scar eyes, and he's like the half robot. Like, he's not his real robot. That and it's him being like, he's doing all those Geppetto, like he's like quoting Geppetto and like or Pinocchio and stuff like that, and he's saying like they got no strings on me, stuff like that. That is creepy and that's really good. And then he starts wisecracking. He starts making jokes, and there's that part where he cuts Andy Serkis's hand off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to." And it's like the second he started making jokes and they started making him funny, was the biggest disappointment to me. Those trailers painting him as this like very menacing, serious villain was really interesting, and then they don't even do it.
Yeah, I do wish they had kept Quicksilver in the series.
Yeah,
because I feel like him and with Hawkeye and the banter they had the whole movie, I loved it.
Yeah,
especially when they're like during the fight in the city or whatever, and they're fighting, and he pulls out the arrow, and he's like, "I'll do it. Yeah, no one would know. Nobody. Like that's amazing. That's good. Yeah. Like just keep that. That would have been great. But no, it's like they gotta take it out.
It's so good.
And they kill him, and I'm like, that kind of sucks. Because I like Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. Thought he was great there in the newer ones, and then I was like, okay, cool. Marvel's gonna have their own version of it, and he dies. But, I don't know.
My thing with Quicksilver is that if they kept him, Infinity War, an End Game wouldn't happen. End Game shouldn't happen. Yeah. He should have Thanos would be dead by the end of Infinity War.
Okay, fine.
Because it's one of those things where you can see like, oh, Quicksilver, that his power is way too strong. You kind of need to write him out before anything serious happens.
I mean, it's the same thing with Superman. He's strong as hell.
Yeah, but like
Justice League movie isn't that good either. So
yeah, you got to write for it. And I mean, you could always just write reasons why Quicksilver can't. I mean, you could have that moment in Justice League where Superman turns towards Flash. Like you could have a moment like that. You could do stuff like that, but that's a great moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if that. No. Side note, I wonder if that's going to stay in the Snyder Cut.
Interesting.
We're dating this video. This is before the Snyder Cut came out.
Yeah. Are you excited for it?
I'm excited to see how bad it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I didn't hate the Justice League movie. I didn't think it was that good. But I liked it.
It's fine.
Like, I would watch it again.
I want to see the Snyder Cut because I want to see how bad it is. I don't trust Snyder to do that.
What if it's see the thing though about HBO Max or whoever's making it, but whatever, they're geniuses because if it fails, but it's because it's what the people wanted. Mm-hmm. But if it does amazing, then they're geniuses because they made it happen.
Yeah, they're the reason that the Snyder Cut
exactly. Baller move right there.
It's a win-win for them, especially apparently he said that he didn't get paid for it, which is crazy. I don't know if I believe that, but if that's true, that's like even doubly good for Warner Bros. Literally, like, did they have to pay him to redo all that? I'm sure they gave him money to work, to reshoot and stuff, but like they didn't pay him.
Okay, we got sidetracked here. Marvel.
What were we talking about?
Age of Ultron. Okay,
so the best thing about Age of Ultron is it's the Avengers movie with like all the best moments, if you ask me. Like him picking up the hammer. Mm-hmm. When they're all trying to pick up the hammer and then Captain like wiggles it a bit. Yeah. Like there's really good scenes like that. There's that whole dinner party, right? Like it leads into that dinner party scene and all the little interactions going on. I remember Avengers was them first meeting and them hating each other and then learning to like each other and all this stuff and work together. And Age of Ultron is them like now it was the first time we got to see them just be buddies and interact and like how they do stuff. There's a great moment that I forgot about in Age of Ultron where Vision, because Vision can hold it. He's worthy of it. And they're like, near the end, they're like he's like beating the enemies with it, and Vision hands it back, and he's like, it has really good like balance to it. And he's like, yeah, it's all on the switch. Like, it's like really great little moments like that.
Oh, then at the other thing too, when it's like, if you put it in an elevator and it goes up.
It's there's...
Hey, Clint Barton has a hanger that's worthy. If you look at that one. I forgot what movie it was. Oh, it was Age of Ultron, right?
I think so.
Was it?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron's also the movie that sold me on Hawkeye. That's why I'm so excited for that show.
Is the show?
Yeah, they're gonna do a show.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
But
we like Age of Ultron. It's just
it's
I'm kind of regretting putting it a bit lower. I should put heart, but I commit to my list.
No. I still stick to it because there's some good ones here.
Yeah. So my 15th is Captain America.
Okay.
So it's not far off from yours.
Yeah.
But like I like Captain America. I'm not a huge Captain America fan. I was on Team Iron Man. What team were you?
Captain America.
Okay.
When we got into Avengers, like I don't think you can I don't think it's illegal to hate Robert Downey Jr. I don't think it's legal to hate Iron Man. He's that good of a character, but Captain America was my favorite. That was the one I was rooting for.
But I liked it because I like the beginnings of it when he's like the scrawny kid getting beaten up, and he does the famous his line is like, "I could do this all day" or whatever, and it's just like I liked it because I never grew up with like Marvel, so I was like getting introduced to them, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then I watched the movies and stuff, and it was like cool, fun. And then I was like, he was like this propaganda piece, and then they finally made him into like he's like screw it. Goes on his own and does it. Then he's got the squad and whatnot. So it was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
But compared to the other ones that I liked,
yeah. And honestly,
it's a solid movie.
After all this talk, you convinced me that I should have put Captain America higher. I really love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Especially with Bucky and everything, and when Bucky dies, quote unquote. Yeah. There's a lot of fake deaths in this universe.
Yeah. There's a lot of father issues too. You ever notice that? Like every character has father issues. Every single one.
Hey, Spider-Man didn't have a father.
I think Captain America is the only one that doesn't have a dad issue.
Does he even have a dad?
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, he does.
But yeah, Captain America, 15 for me. Mm-hmm. Solid movie. I like it. I'd watch it again. We watched it not long ago, actually. So, solid.
I mean, that's what started. I just wanted to rewatch that movie. That's what started my whole like recent rewatching of all these movies. Was I just wanted to watch Captain America, and then I was like, that movie was great. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't stop. So, 14 for me is Black Panther.
Ooh, okay.
Give it higher, like a lot higher, or like.
Yeah, I do. Well, kinda, yeah.
I think it was actually lower for a while. I really like Black Panther. I love Killmonger. I think he makes that movie.
Yes. I could be Jordan. I've known you since Friday Night Lights. Fake fans, everyone else, they don't know that. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Friday Night Lights.
The show?
Yeah.
I told you about it, right?
Yeah. No, we talk about it. I was like, I used to watch it. I don't remember. To be honest, I don't remember a whole lot from it, but I remember loving it as a kid. But, yeah.
Fake fans don't know what that is.
The movie is really good.
Oh, the movie's great. Yeah.
Especially
but that has nothing to do with the show, but yeah.
Seeing like this Harlem kid, and understanding like what he has gone through as he's lived and grown up, coming into like infiltrating Wakanda, and the idea of him using these resources for his like
agenda.
Agenda seems like too negative, I guess, because the idea is that you really feel for him, like you really understand exactly why he's doing it. I mean, you almost root for him.
He has like a decent cause. It's kind of messed up, but it's a decent cause.
It's
not a decent cause, but it makes sense.
It's very violent, but it's very understandable.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's like, well, what else are you gonna do? He's a really strong villain for that, and especially like that ending scene when he dies and how he takes his own life, right?
No. Black Panther kills him, but instead of Chadwick Boseman's character, Rip, by the way, he says like, we could save you. He's like, no, and like I think they take out the knife or whatever. He's like, and then just throw my body into the ocean like my ancestors.
Yeah, they respect they give to that villain at the end. It's really nice.
Killmonger was great. I wish they kept him, but yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see. You can't just do it's Black Panther. It's like it's T'Challa is just recasted. You can't do that. No. I like to see maybe if they try to find a way to bring him back and he becomes
M'Baka, bro. Oh, I love that movie. How is it lower? It's such a good movie.
Black Panther is really good. My issues with Black Panther is that Black Panther is like Incredible Hulk It's a lot better than Incredible Hulk, but it's like Incredible Hulk that. It falls into those Marvel formulaic trappings where it's like Killmonger's great, but he's also just another Black Panther to fight. Like Black Panther versus himself again.
Kinda, yeah.
And it could have been more interesting to have him or even if it is like, because the point is that he gets the Black Panther like ring, right? And like
well, he eats the plants too.
Oh, it's the plant, yeah.
And then it destroys all of them too, so.
Yeah, like he gets.
I didn't like that part. I was like, it's kind of dumb. What if you have kids, bro?
He could have. I would have liked to see him use those in a more unique way than just, oh, I'm gonna also fight just like you and do, like, it falls into that trapping. It's really good music, by the way. The music in Black Panther is really good.
It's funny too.
Mm-hmm.
It should be way higher.
Sorry.
You want to give my 14? They're gonna hate my 14.
All right, go.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, I do not like that. No. I love Doctor Strange.
I didn't really. It's not that I didn't like him, but actually, yeah, I liked it. I liked it a bit better than Captain America, just because I thought it was kind of cooler with the whole like wizards magic stuff, whatever. But I just kind of found it kind of odd sometimes, or like kind of like the villains were kind of like eh, and that's just. It wasn't that memorable to me.
I'll agree that, especially with the actor they got, I love Mads Mikkelsen, and they do not use him nearly as well as they could have. He is an amazing actor, and he is trapped as just the most generic villain.
Yeah, it was like it was kind of a generic kind of thing because it's like the three. What was like all the anti-wizards or whatever the hell they were, or like they were fighting, and then because they served the higher person. And I mean, if I had seen more, I probably would have liked it. But I didn't think it was that great, in my opinion. I know you liked it a lot.
I love it a lot because my biggest complaints are.
See, keep in mind, he is the film guy. I'm just a casual movie guy.
Hey, you stop. Your opinion still matters.
I know, but I'm just trying to give him. I'm just trying to give us perspective of he's the film critic, and I'm just the. He studied film. I studied business. Well, sports business.
I studied film, and then made a video game channel. My biggest issues with Doctor Strange, I don't like the villain. His motivation could have been better if he was fleshed out more. You can see it.
I feel like that's a lot of in the Marvel movies. They just need to flush their characters out more.
Yeah. They need more screen time. They need more personality.
And to be fair, I had no idea who Doctor Strange was going into this. Never heard of him.
Oh, me neither.
And I was just like, who is this guy? Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in it? Cool. I like him. It's kind of the thing where it's like, oh, is this doctor whose hands are everything? He hurts him, now he's trying to find whatever to get his thing back. And it's like, it's kind of like some other movies done that too.
Oh, yeah. That was my other knock against Doctor Strange. Which I don't think is that big of a problem.
It's not, but I'm like, I've seen it. I feel like it's kind of a thing that a lot of movies use. And I'm just like, eh.
Is Iron Man. The movie's just Iron Man again. That's what I was going to say. It's that's my biggest issue is that, it's...
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's just Iron Man again.
Yeah.
When you really think
but
about
magic.
It. Yeah. And that's my other issue with it.
But it's hands instead of him dying.
And I don't think that's a huge problem, because, I mean, it's another... I mean, a lot of origin stories kind of do follow that same thing. It's not, inherently an inherent problem to Doctor Strange. And I think it's done really well. But it is also just, you can see how it's kind of just the Iron Man story again. The thing that really sells me on the movie is, the wackiness of it. It's very visually interesting compared to the rest, too. Kind of falls into that, so far at least, it kind of falls into Captain America a little bit, where there's some unique stuff that you don't really see in the other movies. It's very trippy. It's very unique, it has that Inception shit going on.
Yeah.
There's the part where she shows him all the capabilities, and I'm like, wow, this is literally just an acid trip that, you don't see in these other Marvel movies.
It's very different than the other ones, I'll give it that.
But it has some of the best I'll say set pieces. It has some of the best set pieces. The part where he's fighting over his dead corpse, he's a ghost, basically, fighting another ghost over his dead corpse, while Rachel McAdams is trying to, that's a really fun scene. There's that. There's the whole way he beats Dormammu is very interesting. And everything leading up to that finale of, the city being destroyed, and then he turns back time, and you're watching the city come back, and they're fighting as the city's, going in reverse. It's like a precursor to Tenet. I know, I'm sure you
I've never seen it. Tenet,
but, watching it, I'm like, wow, this feels like a Tenet fight scene.
Yeah.
But, Marvel did it. Way before even Tenet did it. You get that, and then you get Doctor Strange beating Dormammu, and the way he beats him is to just, annoy him until he leaves by using the time stone to, keep them to trap Dormammu into a time loop until and just die forever and ever and ever until Dormammu's like, okay, stop, I'll leave.
That's pretty fucked.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like
That's pretty dark.
It's so unique, and it's such a unique way to beat your villain, and it's a really fun scene to think like this, like watch Doctor Strange die over and over and over again in like different ways until Dormammu's like, please, I don't want to keep killing you.
I like your points, but to me, it's still very middle of the pack. Like I could go without watching Doctor Strange.
Okay. Yeah, like I think it's a specific taste. Like I'm also really into that kind of weirdness in my films.
I'm very straightforward.
So,
Just give it to me.
Seeing that in a big budget Marvel film was like really entertaining for me. So my number 13 is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay.
It actually is lower. This was another one of like Iron Man 3 and Captain America, a really tough battle where I'm like, honestly, depending on the day, I could put Black Panther over Spider-Man: Homecoming because I think Black Panther is actually
better.
I'm gonna be honest. Black Panther objectively is probably a better film than Homecoming.
It definitely is.
But I can't do that to my boy Spider-Man. I can't do that to my boy.
But it's not Tobey Maguire. It's the thing.
Yeah, but it's still my boy. That's still my character. Like I can't.
You can't tell he loves Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can't do that to him.
Okay.
So, and that's all we can really say.
Yeah,
We've talked. We talked.
Yeah, well, you put one of Thor movies like bottom, so I love Thor.
I put two of them.
You put the first one too. Oh my god, I hate you. For
Thor is still. Thor is still a good movie. It's a lot better than.
What was your number for Thor?
19.
And what was Captain Marvel?
Oh, it's above Captain.
I know, but what was
21.
It's so close. It should not be that close, Tyler. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. I'm mad. All right.
What was your 13?
My 13? Winter Soldier.
Really? So, Winter Soldier was my probably like really low at before. I remember watching it when I first watched it and not caring for it at all. But what about you?
I loved it. I always liked it because I thought it was like when like Shield got they revealed that like Hydra had infiltrated Shield, had the whole twist. Nick Fury like dies, but not really. It's like everyone thinks he's dead, and it's like, oh shit. And it's the whole like they have to be all secretive, and then Zola makes another appearance on it. The Doctor. It was cool because seeing everything come like that, and it's like Captain America having to deal with like Bucky's there, and then it's like Shield's going down. It's like the whole fights and everything, and I thought it was pretty cool because it was just like it's like, oh shit, Shield fell like hard. Like that was a good movie.
Yeah,
like especially the fight when they're like fighting each other, and then Captain America's just like, I'm not gonna fight you, and he's just getting his ass beat by Bucky, and you're just like, you're gonna fucking die, bro. Like, yeah, it's like, bro, what? But then like it falls, and then Bucky just saves him, and it was just like, okay,
really good moment. So I don't know what the fuck I was on when I first watched Captain Marvel. Like I did not care for the movie at all. I think I was falling asleep halfway through.
What?
Like, that's how much I just was like, what is this movie? It's fine. It's another Marvel movie. Whatever. And then I rewatched it, and I don't know what the fuck I was on. That movie is amazing.
It is. And then, like, the ending when, like, Black Widow reveals everything about S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff, you're just like, bro, what?
It works so well.
It did. It worked.
It works so well as a sequel to the first one. Like, Captain America is the all-American hero. Like, he is freedom and, like truth and all that stuff. And it's interesting that what they did is every movie is challenging him in his views, his ideals. Like, and it changes him. Where you get to Civil War, and it's like, you think the original, you see Tony Stark is the one that's like, oh, no, we should be left accountable. We should be, like, more restrictive and do what the government tells us. And Captain America's the one that's like, no, we shouldn't. We need to be like
America.
Like, it's interesting because you would think it's the other way around. And with Captain America 2, it's constantly him questioning like who to trust.
Yeah, and then they introduce Falcon. Love Falcon, and then like
to the
on your
left.
left,
on your left, yeah.
And it's like it's a good movie and stuff because I don't know, I always liked it. I always thought it was cool. That's also the one with the helicopter thing, right?
No, that's 3. I love
that's
that
3?
scene.
Okay,
That
okay.
shot's so good. Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw tried to do it, and that shit was so
Winter
terrible.
Soldier.
Don't watch Hobbs and Shaw. That thing was so terrible.
Watch Hobbs and Shaw.
No, don't watch Hobbs and Shaw. No.
Watch.
Why would you watch
and
it?
Shaw. Because the Fast and Furious movies are. We're gonna do a Fast and Furious. Because I'm gonna force you to watch them all, Rick.
God damn. I've seen them all, but I saw Hobbs and Shaw, and I was like, oh,
Hobbs and Shaw.
God.
Hobbs.
It was funny, yeah, but then you get to the ending, and then it's just like, when he's got that stupid chain with the helicopter and the rock, I'm just like, okay.
Like, dude, don't shit on Fast and Furious right now. I can't take this.
Okay.
Anyway,
fine. Winter Soldier.
Loved
it. Great movie. Bucky coming back, and then like them fighting, and I was just like, oh shit. It was like very like emotional at the end when they're just like I said when they're like he's killing like basically killing them, and he saves them when they fall in the river or whatever, and I just loved it.
But like to me, it's one of the best Mission Impossible movies. When you look at it, it's a spy thriller. It's so well paced. It's very it's simultaneously like subdued compared to the rest of the Marvel films that are so blown out with action. But it's also a very good action film, and with the like smaller scale that they do with these action scenes, because then you get to like Infinity War and fucking Thanos is throwing a planet on people, like. But they find that excitement in like the very much smaller versions of these type of fights. The whole Hydra angle about like infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. and never knowing who you can trust.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want a movie about that. Like from the 40s after the war ended to like how they infiltrated and then everything. That'd be cool. Or just show like Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, you get a lot more about Black Widow's character and how like her
history background. Or
yeah,
whatever.
like her confronting her history and how she's not proud of it.
Yeah.
Which we'll see more, I guess, in Black Widow whenever that comes out.
If it comes out.
Whenever theaters open up again, which who the fuck knows. But
It's dead.
I couldn't believe how good Winter Soldier was when I watched it.
I always liked it, but like yeah, I have it in the middle, but I do love it a lot.
Yeah.
Like if compared to like almost all my other top ones are like relatively newer than Winter Soldier, so that's probably like at one point that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Except maybe Thor. I love Thor.
We know. So, my number 12 is Ant-Man. Ant-Man 1.
Same!
Really?
Let's
Cool.
go.
No,
That's
we agree
2.
again. It was tough to put this above Spider-Man, but Homecoming, like, I do have a lot of problems with. Ant-Man is a really solid one of these Marvel films. I think he's a
Michael
unique
Pena
character.
was amazing.
Michael Pena's amazing. Paul Rudd is never
great.
bad.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is never bad in anything.
I loved him in the second one too, but I loved him in the first one. That was just great. Especially, I just love Michael Pena. Then he does this whole story thing and everything. I just love it.
Director.
And Anthony.
Who Anthony?
This ant. Remember his
Oh,
ant?
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony. And then when he died,
Anthony.
I said Anthony.
Yeah.
I said, come on, bro. Then
Yeah,
when he
Anthony.
dies, and I'm just like, no, I never felt so much passion for an ant.
Think about that. Like, that's how good this movie is.
Except
that
for,
it makes
like,
you feel for
yeah.
a fucking ant.
Except for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when they have that.
It's Bugs Life, right?
Yeah, but that's animated. That's a whole.
That's
That's
a
a
whole
whole
different
different thing.
world, yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
I mean, technically, that ant is animated.
But it's not like it's supposed to be real, okay?
But it's not.
Anthony, I miss you.
It's just a solid Marvel movie.
Yeah, I
Like,
loved it. It's funny as hell because Paul Rudd's just funny.
I talked about how Ant-Man and the Wasp is a really good comedy, and this obviously is like that too, and I think it's even better. My only thing with Ant-Man is that one of my favorite directors of all time is Edgar Wright. Mm-hmm. He did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
Loved it.
World's End,
Nah.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Baby Driver. Those are
Never seen it.
You ever see Baby Driver?
No.
It's over
You
there.
love Baby
Pull this out,
Driver.
man.
I know you love Baby Driver.
Yeah, one second.
God damn, I shouldn't have said that.
Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors of all time, and he was the one that was supposed to. He was originally the director for Ant-Man.
Okay.
He was originally They had a whole test footage that he did, kind of like what they did for Deadpool, where they had like test footage, and that's what kind of got it made. He had test footage that like was showing off how he wanted to do like the shrinking and stuff. He was working on it, and then apparently the story is, and I mean, we'll never know the full story, I guess, but like Disney got way too involved in his writing and like had a lot of creative differences with him, so he left, and they got Peyton Reed, that's the director, Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. And he's a good director. He made another side tangent. Peyton Reed made probably the best Mandalorian episode.
Oh, he made a Mandalorian episode?
He directs one of the episodes. I think he directs 2, actually. But in season 2, my favorite one is the eggs one. When you first meet the girl at the...
Oh, bro, I thought that shit was so gross.
Oh, yeah, when
he's fucking eating them. I was like, bro.
But he made, like, the best one. Like, I think he's a good director. But, I mean, he's no Egg, you're right. Like, it sucks. I'm like, this, like, we will never know what the original vision of Ant-Man was supposed to be. And that bothers me, because I really would have loved to see his version.
Hey, what's his name again?
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright cut. Disney, do it.
Yeah, do it. Well, he didn't shoot it. That's the thing. He didn't even get to the shooting
Produce
phase.
it.
So, like...
Give him money to do it. You got the money. Come on.
I know, right? Just let him do it. Yeah. But I guess we wouldn't have gotten Baby Driver. At least not this soon, if it wasn't for that.
I don't so.
But yeah, Ant-Man's really good. I love Paul Rudd. I think the Ant-Man character is really funny and really fun to watch. And him working at Baskin Robbins is the greatest thing.
Hey, the band, bro.
Yeah, in the band. All right. You're 12.
It's Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, we agreed.
Yeah. 11.
Yeah, I don't remember shit, bro. I'm surprised I remember half these movies. My 11, and you're going to be shocked at this, because it's number 11 is Far From Home. It did not hit my top 10. It just missed my top 10.
Okay. I am shocked.
Because I have this thing with these Spider-Man movies. The Russo brothers made the Avengers, right? Mm-hmm. They made Civil War. They made the Cap 2. The Russo brothers introduced Spider-Man with Civil War. Mm-hmm. And his introduction, when you watch Civil War, like I had the same thing you did. Like I loved him in Civil War. Just really excited. And then you get to Homecoming. And it's not exactly what I was expecting. It's not what I wanted. After watching Far From Home and then watching Infinity War, and you see Civil War and like him in all these movies, I think the Russo brothers direct him way better. They're way better at handling Spider-Man than the people who make his own movie. I think it's John Watts is the director.
I don't know. See, I'm not the film.
Well, and then there's like 40 writers writing the Spider-Man's standalone ones.
I think it should be way lower, but that's just me.
So that's always been that's why it's lower. That's why it doesn't really hit my top 10. Because it's like I just haven't had as much of a connection with the Spider-Man in his own movies as much as I wish I did. And I'm a huge
Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire,
fan.
come back, please.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, man.
And Andrew Garfield, I liked you better too.
But Far From Home is a lot better than Homecoming.
I gotta rewatch Far From Home then.
Its only real issue is that it's kind of long. It's another, like, it's kind of like the Captain America thing where it's like, there's a little too much here. You could have cut it down a bit. But, again, great villain. Good twist. You know?
You and your twist, man. Do you like M. Night Shyamalan?
No, honestly, surprisingly.
I'm surprised. I am surprised.
He makes some good movies. I like Unbreakable a lot. And then Glass was whatever, but Glass is half full. like it's half good, man. It's like almost there, and then Glass kind of fucks shit up. But anyway,
my number 11 is Black Panther.
Okay,
almost made the top 10, and it's respectable. Like I liked it. The sound was great. The music was great. I love Chadwick Boseman in it. I loved him in like 42, so I was already a fan of him. And I saw Michael B. Jordan in it. I loved him since Friday Night Lights. So I was like, this is going to be awesome. They did great. I loved it. M'Baka, didn't know who he was. When he came in with that chant, I can't say it.
I don't know what he says.
I don't know what he says.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it either.
Embarrass myself.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like, he does it. He plays it off well. You think he's this asshole dude when he, like, insults, like, the T'Challa's sister. But then when you take him over to, like, after T'Challa's, like, dying, and they're at his, like, mountain home, and he's just, like, gonna say they're gonna eat him, and he's like, I'm kidding, we're vegetarians. And I'm just like, this is fucking gold.
He's a
like,
good character.
He's good. He's amazing. Like, he's just great. And then, yeah, I love Black Panther. It's just a good movie. Mm-hmm. Solid. Yeah.
Now we're on our top 10. We made it.
The creme de la creme. Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty.
And we're gonna start fighting.
Yeah.
Live on camera. So my top 10 is Iron Man 1. Yeah.
Really?
It's really good, but there's a lot. The competition is steep in the top 10.
I'll explain yourself, please.
Iron Man 1 is it started it all. It brought us Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, like his performance. It's amazing. Tony Stark kills it, or Robert Downey Jr. kills it as Tony Stark. The whole intro is, the beginning of that movie is so strong about like you, like introducing yourself to this like arrogant, like flashy warmonger, basically. I guess like not monger.
No, it's like weapons manufacturer.
Yeah, a weapons manufacturer, and he's they do a really good job of introducing you to that, and then going right into like boom, he gets blown up. And
bro, that first like what was it, like an hour when he's in that, or like 30 minutes in? That's just like amazing because he's working with that other doctor.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, I want to see my family or whatever, and they're like, they finally make the suit. You learn about him, and you're like, oh, he's cool. Like, yeah, let's hope they both make it out. And as the movie goes on, and they're fighting out of the cave, and he's like dying. He's like, my family's dead. You're just like, oh no, like you wanted.
They've always been dead. It's so hard. It's really good.
It's so good.
That's like the first 30 minutes of the movie, and you feel for that character so strong. That just random side character that Tony met. They do a really good. Like, there's just really great writing in it, and then he gets out of it. You get to Act 2, and it just keeps like building and getting stronger, and you see. Like, you get to the point where he's like fully got the suit. He's like fighting Rhodey, and he's on the phone with them. He's like, "Oh, can you tell him not to shoot me? I'm gonna fucking like." There's really good moments like that. You get to the part where he's like full blown like iron. Like he's got the suit figured out, and there's he sees that like people are. Who is it? It's like the group that's like he realizes it's the group from the beginning. Like they're terrorizing his town or whatever.
It's his guard or whatever it was. That the bald dude, right? I forgot his name.
I'm not even talking about that yet.
Oh no.
I'm talking about when he flies over back to Iraq,
or like Iraq,
and there's that great moment where he goes to the tank and he shoots him and he dodges it and he shoots this like tiny little robot this tiny little
missile.
Yeah, he shoots this like tiny little missile and fucking blows it up. Such a good moment. If the movie ended there, perfect. Like,
and that was good. In the trailer, that shit was just like amazing. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like that was a good.
That's my biggest issue with it. Is why it's 10. Is that if the movie ended there, perfect, and then it keeps going, and then they bring Jeff Bridges in, like bald dude, and they make him this like climactic big villain to fight, and it just falls apart.
See, the thing I love about Iron Man though is because he's like the first superhero movie that I saw as growing up, where it's like he's like, yeah, I am Iron Man, and you're just like,
great moment.
You're just like, he's acknowledging that he is Iron Man, because up until then everyone always kept it a secret. It's like, oh, hush hush. It's like it's like Superman, he's like the glasses. It's like, okay, whatever. Batman's the billionaire. Iron Man's like, nah, screw it. I am Iron Man. Like, come at me. Like, it's me, Tony Stark. And it's like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it's bold.
It's bold. It's a baller move, and you're just like, okay.
It paved the way for the rest of the Marvel universe. It's like it's a really big deal, because when you get to Civil War, I remember people, by the time Civil War happens, because there's the Civil War comic story, and the story in the comics is that everybody has to announce their identity. You can't hide your identity. That's what the comic thing is. And it's kind of like that in the MCU, but it's not really about that. Because everybody already knows who these people are. Because Iron Man's like, yeah, I'm Iron Man. Like, everybody knows Tony Stark is like, I'm just gonna be like that.
Yeah.
It paved the way for like what was to come, and like people's identities aren't a big issue here. Like, you get to the part where it's like in Infinity War, when Peter Parker is like, oh, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. And he's like, oh, we're using our
made up names.
Like stuff like that.
So for my number 10, I messed it up. I will not lie to you. I messed up my list. It should have been Black Panther at 10. My 11 should have been Iron Man 2.
Wait, so your 11 should have been Iron Man 2?
Yes, I have it at 10 now, but I messed it up. So Black Panther, Iron Man 2 is 11.
Black Panther
is 10.
Okay. Yeah,
Black Panther. I made that switch.
Definitely.
I messed it up. Yeah, it's better than Iron Man.
Should make that top 10 and not Iron Man.
No, yeah, I messed it up. It was like almost there. But Iron Man 2 is my 11. I apologize for that one. I messed that one up.
Okay.
But yeah, Iron Man 2, I loved. also because it was right after, and I thought I liked it because it introduced more people and stuff, and it had more stuff to do, and it's just more of like his arrogant stuff, and I just liked it.
Yeah, it's bigger. To me, it's bigger, but it's not better. Like that's how I look at it. Like,
I liked it, but yeah, Black Panther should have been 10. We've talked about both of them
Black
already.
Panther's really good.
Black Panther made my top 10.
So my number 9 is Doctor Strange.
Oh,
I put it slightly above Iron Man in this case because what I mentioned earlier, like those moments are really strong for me. I think, like Tony Stark, he's a really strong character. I think it's a solid movie from start to finish. Where I can't say the same for Iron Man 3. I think when you get to the ending I can't say the same for Iron Man 1. I think when you get to the ending of Iron Man 1 is when that movie really falls apart. There's a part, like, watching Iron Man 1, it's like Pepper Potts gets saved. Like, she runs out of the building being chased by Jeff Bridges, the bald dude. And then Iron Man comes in, saves her, and then they're fighting somewhere else. And then, like, that fight happens, and then he calls her, and she's still there. Like, she just stayed in the exact... She literally stayed in the exact same
fear
spot.
of shock, bro. Come on.
I get it. It's just dumb stuff. Like there's a lot of problems.
If you can't tell who the film person is here.
Yeah. Well, it's just a lot of problems with the way the finale is. Like, it really felt like they forced him into that iron suit so they could have a climactic battle at the end that they didn't
I will not lie. The, first half of Iron Man, great. It's just awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. After that, kind of drags on a bit, but I do love it.
So that's why I put Doctor Strange a little higher, because I think it's a much better film overall. Like, not much better, but it's a better film overall. It's more consistent. Like, yeah, the villain sucks, but you get to Act 3 and you're enjoying it just as much as you are in the beginning. Like, it doesn't falter. It doesn't have those dips like 1 does. Yeah.
So my number 9 is Civil War.
Wow, that's low.
Yeah.
That's way lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved Civil War.
Okay.
Introduced Spider-Man. Black Panther.
Yeah, I did introduce
Black Panther.
First time we saw Ant-Man, like, with other people.
Yeah.
It was his second appearance.
Yeah.
That was so...
It was like... It made my 9 mainly because compared to the other ones, I love my other ones more. And I have my reasonings for them. But Civil War is just amazing movie. Like, the whole, riff between them. And the reason I had it lower is because at the point when I thought, Civil War was going to happen, I knew they were going to split. In my head, thought they were going to do the thing where they do, the Avengers in the West and the Avengers in the East. Like, the 2 different Avenger groups. You know, that they've done before, in the cartoon stuff. I thought that's what they were going to do. They didn't end up doing that. But I still loved it because it was, when they were fighting... And then it's it's just very intense moments because you find out oh shit, Bucky killed Iron Man, Tony's parents. You're like shit, and I got so mad at Captain America. I was like, bro, how could you still stand by this? And the whole restrictions, Tony's yeah, we should be monitored, and Captain America's like, no, we shouldn't. And I'm like, you kind of should, but okay, whatever. It was very intense movie that I loved a lot. There's just a lot of conflict in it.
Yeah, to me, it's up there with Winter Soldier. When I say it's a really good spy thriller almost, because there's a lot of that battle against ideology. It's simultaneously it's kind of like Winter Soldier, that whole spy Hydra stuff. It's not a lot about Hydra,
no.
But with
Zemo, they do have some stuff, but
the whole thing with Zemo and the Hydra thing about where Bucky, what happened with Bucky and how he killed, which is awesome. When you watch watching them back to back, Captain 1, 2, and 3, you get to see Captain America 2 sets up that moment. The robot AI thing that was the dude from 1 and 2. When he's basically explaining everything about how Hydra's been sitting in the shadows for all this time, messing with stuff behind the scenes and killing anybody who gets in their way. They show Howard Stark dead in a car crash. They set up that Hydra killed him. And then Civil War goes and so you know that the Hydra is behind their death. But now you get to see the reveal is that Bucky's the real one who did it.
Also, they really changed Tony's dad so goddamn much.
Yeah, I know. They changed his dad a lot.
Who's your dad, Tony? But yeah, I loved it because of that action. And then the helicopter thing. And I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Captain America does it well. And then when they had the fight in the airport and everything, I thought that was cool. Then when Vision and Wanda have that weird connection... And you're like, okay, that's weird. And then Vision accidentally shoots Rhodey. And he gets this whole paralyzed thing. And you're just like, God damn. This was intense. And then that's when they do the whole like the three of them fighting, like Bucky, Captain America, and Iron Man, and Iron Man's beating them, and then Iron Man's just like, stay down, and then Captain America says his line is like, I could do this all day, and you're just like, god damn.
Yeah, there's so many good. Because
by the way, I think Iron Man won that fight because then Bucky came in and ruined it all, but he needed help. Iron Man didn't need to do shit. Hit that roided out man is your favorite? All right. Yeah.
Put on the suit. Yeah, Civil War has a lot of really good character moments. It's the perfect example of like
riffs in a
that entire wait, what were you saying?
Like riffs in a family, because it was like Age of Ultron and then this one, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Age of Ultron, you see them being like togetherness, and then in this one it's like what happens when you have differences.
Yeah,
like,
now they're apart, and that's like where it ends with them completely, the Avengers completely disbanding. It has really good character moments. It's the best. Civil War is the best example to me of how to intersperse that into action scenes. Like you get, I love Hawkeye, and Hawkeye's great in this movie too. And you get to the part where like he's fighting Black Widow, and in the middle he's like, she's like, "We still friends?" He's like, "Depends how hard you hit me," and stuff like that.
Bro, I love
like you get
I love Hawkeye. I don't know what it is.
I
love Hawkeye. I love Green Arrow, like from the DC, and I don't know what is me and people with bows and arrows.
Is it Jeremy Renner? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He just does such a good performance in that.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so charismatic.
I love his Jason Bourne movie.
I refuse to watch that movie. No, Bourne is Matt Damon, and I don't want to see anybody else. I love Jeremy Renner, but no, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, I love him.
I love Civil War a lot. I think it's a good mix of that like espionage type of story with a big budget Marvel film with like the big spectacle hero moments you want to see, the fun like Ant-Man gets big. You get those like crowd pleasing moments.
Yeah.
It's a good mix of both of those.
Yeah, it is. And then the villains like thing, I forgot his name. Zemo, yeah. His villain theory kind of made sense as to why he wanted to do everything that he did. And then when he finally like gives up and he's like gonna kill himself, and then Black Panther stops him, and they like come to the realization of everything, and it's like it made a full circle in that whole movie, like just everything of how like Black Panther wanted to kill Bucky, and then he realizes that it's like it wasn't really him, it was mind control and stuff, and then he like helps him in the end, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Like Black Panther gets introduced to that movie like halfway through, and he has a character arc. Like they give him a character arc too about the revenge.
That's how you do it, Game of Thrones.
All right. You fulfill on what you set up. You don't just set up shit and then do something else because it's anyway. Let's not get into that. Pisses me off thinking about Game of Thrones. My number 8 is Avengers 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm impressed with how well this movie holds up. Like you'd think after watching Infinity War and Endgame, and it's like 80 characters all in one movie, that seeing 4 characters get together that you've seen now a ton of times. Like it's still special. Like it
I will give you that. I will say this: you will be
works.
shocked at how my list will turn out with Avengers movies. Like,
I am mad it's not higher, works.
But I understand why.
Yeah, it's because I feel like there's just honestly it's just that a lot of movies just do. Like there are movies here that just are better.
I won't talk about it more until I get to mine because I feel like I talk too much on it when I don't have a lot to say.
Yeah, the only reason like it's only lower just. Because like there's no really flaw. I don't have really any real flaws with it.
Yeah, I know.
It's just that there's movies that are I think are more entertaining and better than it. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I didn't like that comment at the end, but
more entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 7. No, my number 8. Right? No.
8.
What? 8. Iron Man.
Okay.
Solid. Like I said, introduced them. First half of the movie is like amazing. It's like very emotional in the very beginning and everything. It's just a good movie. What?
I just realized something. I don't know. Do you want me to say it right now?
What?
I realized I don't think I've heard you say a Thor movie yet.
I said the second one. I said the third one.
Okay.
Oh, second one.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. There's a reason.
I'm like, wow. Okay, I'm like scared of where. Anyway. Go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Worry.
I interrupted you. Go on.
No, I mean, we pretty much talked about Iron Man.
Yeah.
Was just like, it's number 8. It started it all, really, and I just loved it, saw it, and I don't think I ever saw it in theaters. I think the first time I saw it, my mom was leaving me home alone. She was gonna go somewhere like for a couple of days, so she's like renting me a bunch of Redbox movies, and that was one of them. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. So I'm just watching, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is amazing. And I was always used to the movies where they always hide who they are, and then it's just Iron Man. He's like, nope, it's me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, that's cool.
So you're part of the problem.
What?
You got a Redbox movie in 2008? Blockbuster was still around.
Hey,
It's dying, but it was there.
Listen, the Blockbuster was further away
killed
than a
Blockbuster.
Redbox. The Blockbuster was further away than a Redbox. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I would still go.
I love Blockbuster though. Don't get me wrong. I used to
love
get video
Blockbuster.
games from them. I love Blockbuster.
Blockbuster was like my Game Pass before Game Pass.
No, but the thing is, the reason why I'm glad for me because she went to the Walmart, she got me some food and snacks so I could eat, and then there's a Redbox right there, so she's not gonna drive to the Blockbuster that's across town.
I had a Blockbuster like right by my house. But actually, speaking of that, I'm kind of part of the problem too because I would always get my movies. I use Blockbuster for games. I would always rent movies at the library. My library?
The library?
Dude.
Who gets movies from the library?
Dude, my library, I gamed that system really good. You get free movies, and they had a huge collection. I was at a point where like you can like pre-order movies. A movie would be coming out, and obviously they don't get it like the day the DVD comes out. They get it like a couple weeks after. But like the day the DVD comes out,
Who the hell pre-orders a movie from a library?
I fucking did, and I got to watch all these movies for free. It would just tell me, oh yeah, we got Iron Man in. It's literally at the library. Go get it. I'm like, Iron Man just came out like 2 weeks ago on DVD? Hell yeah. I went, got Iron Man, watched it. That's how I used to rewatch movies all the time. I'd watch movies in the theaters, and then I would like always get the movies I loved again.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was also part of the problem when Netflix first started. When the whole DVD thing, me and my mom signed us up, and we always got like when Netflix didn't have the streaming, but they had like the instant. They just email you the movie disc and everything like that.
I remember thinking that was so weird at the time.
I thought it was weird, but I thought it was
My friend
cool.
had it.
I thought it was cool. We had it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then they switched it to then it became a streaming service, and I was like, "Oh, but I can't get the movies." And I was like, "Okay, it's still cool."
Yeah, I remember just thinking when it was that. I'm thinking it was the weirdest thing. My friend had it, and I'm like, why are you getting nailed the DVD? Like, I go to a Blockbuster. Like, that's what I was like, go to a fucking Blockbuster. Go get it right now. I don't want to wait. I don't want my movie 3 days from now. I want it now.
All right. You're number 7.
Yeah, we should talk about these movies again. So,
You're number 7.
I'm really curious to see where these movies sit, because none of us have said them yet.
Yeah.
My number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, no. The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting comment.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead. I need water.
I love James Gunn. I love him a lot. He makes amazing, funny movies. They don't fail. Chris Pratt's great in this. Dave Bautista was probably one of the best casting choices for Drax.
Yes.
It's crazy to think that Disney like fought him on that. Disney didn't want him.
Really?
And James
Watch
Gunn
Stuber.
fought.
Stuber is amazing. I almost pissed my pants watching that movie.
I need to watch that still.
It's amazing.
Watch Super. That's a James Gunn movie. A superhero R-rated James Gunn movie that he did before Guardians. I remember watching that. I watched that before Guardians, and I was like, they really got this guy to do a superhero.
Watch
like
Stuber.
Marvel was like, because you watch Super's great, but it's an R-rated superhero movie with Dwight from The Office.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it goes places. And you're just
watch
like,
Stuber. It's Dave Bautista at his best. I kid you. It's amazing. It's not superheroes, but it's just funny.
better than his WWE performance.
Oh, yeah. I loved him in WWE. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was the best. Okay. Yeah. I'm not even gonna talk about Guardians though right now with you. I need to wait for my. Just go.
I'll say my piece.
Yeah,
and then
you say your piece,
We
I
can talk
can't.
about Guardians when you get there. So, Guardians is number 7. I love Guardians. I love Guardians.
I
of the
can't even
Galaxy.
look at you.
It's because it has a huge flaw to me.
What is the flaw?
Like Guardians, I feel like people forget how the third act dips. It's the same flaw as Iron Man 3. It really dips near the end. That whole battle, like the whole final battle with like the 600 planes that all fucking die.
I thought that was kind of dumb, but yeah.
It's not bad. It's just it drags. That's when the movie really starts dragging for me. Right when I think that's
That's towards the end of the movie.
yeah, it's that part where I'm like, okay, now I didn't fall asleep, but I am falling asleep. Like,
right now.
It saves itself with the dance off at the end. Like, there's so many good moments. Those characters are all amazing. It was a huge risk because nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you get introduced to these characters that now everybody loves, and like James Gunn pretty much made that happen. Like, there's the whole prison section that's really fun. Like, it just is a really fun movie from moment one. It's just a really fun movie from moment one with great characters. Has great music, obviously. It does a really good job at balancing comedy with the seriousness, because these characters have dark pasts, and it's a very dramatic film for how funny it is.
Except Groot, we don't know what the fuck he's saying.
No, we know what he's saying. He's saying Groot.
I hate you.
His name is Tree, get it right. I love Guardians. I just find that the ending lacking. I find that once you get to that big action scene, it slows down, and I wish it could have been better in that part. That's the only reason it's that low.
Okay, whatever. Okay, my number 7
is Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's Thor, the first one.
Okay, it's not as high as I was. I was scared for a minute. I'm like, he hasn't said anything. How high is Thor?
It's number 7 for me. I loved it. I studied sports management in college, but I have a passion for history and like mythology and stuff. And I loved like the Norse mythology and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when I saw the Thor stuff, I loved it. I loved Anthony Hopkins. Top actors. I love Anthony Hopkins. He did amazing as Odin. Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I thought that was good. I loved it a lot. It's just, I really loved it. The whole like the bridge and everything, the Heimdall, and like Thor finding out like you said earlier, like he's like the fish out of water. He's trying to get. You said I loved it, and then
I didn't even talk about Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba is amazing. Heimdall, bro, come on.
Heimdall's great.
Yes, and then especially when he's like when Loki invades it with the frost giants, and then he's like frozen, and he like breaks out of it, kills him, and is able to bring him back. That's amazing. It's just an amazing movie, amazing cast. Loved it. Favorite movie. I have no complaints on it, really.
I respect it. I don't think it deserves
Anthony Hopkins. Yes, it does, bro.
Like there's so
like Anthony Hopkins acting in it was amazing. Like especially in the beginning when he's just like casts Thor out.
Yeah, he's great.
He does everything.
Anthony Hopkins is great in everything.
Chris Hemsworth did amazing playing it too.
Mm-hmm.
Just he's like this arrogant, cocky guy. Cause he's Thor. He can do everything, but then he's like learns it not to. Tom Hiddleston as Loki became a phenomenon. Everyone loves Loki, even though he's the villain.
It was so funny rewatching these because like back to back, because you get to that part where in Avengers.
Keep in mind, we watched all the Thor movies together because when he was on his marathon binge of Marvel, because I love the Thor movies.
Yeah, I had to bring you in for that one. It's so funny because you get to like Dark World and it's obviously like he's still a villain, but he's a buddy, especially in Ragnarok where he's like. They're supposed to laugh at Loki. Everyone loves Loki. He's literally gonna get his own show this summer, and then you get to Avengers, and there's the part where Thor's like, "That's my brother," and Black Widow's like, "He killed 90 dudes in 2 minutes."
Like yeah, something like that.
90 dudes.
No, I don't think it was 90 dudes.
It was like a high number.
It was a high number.
Low amount of time.
Yeah, and then it's like he's adopted. Yeah. It's just amazing. I love them. I love their chemistry. It should be way higher in your list. I am mad that I am still peeved at Guardians. All right, go. You're number 6.
All right, number 6. I'm really curious where this is on your list.
Okay.
Number 6 is End Game.
Oh, okay.
Avengers End Game. I think Avengers End Game is really good. It almost feels like 3 separate movies. It's 3 hours, and I think it's a little. I don't want to say too long, but how do I describe this? Like my problem with it is its length, but not. I wouldn't change its length.
What?
Like it being that long, I feel like it makes it sloppier. I feel like it's not as tight as like Infinity War is. I'm gonna compare this a lot to Infinity War, because that's where because I can't help but compare it.
I won't lie to you. It is also my number 6.
Oh, is it really?
I have it at number 6.
Cool.
That's 3.
Great again. Woo! We did it. It's hard to pinpoint. I'm having trouble describing why it's at 6, because it's not. It's a great film. It almost feels like 3 films where it's you have the intro, which is basically this depressing fucking.
No, well, it's it's I love it, and you look at it and you're like, dang, okay, this is the aftermath of Infinity War, and it's and then you see Hawkeye and he's gone dark because he's just lost his entire family, so he's just going on this venge kill. It's why are you alive when all these good people going after the Yakuza in Japan, and stuff, and you're just yeah, makes sense, and then you're just damn, he fucking went hard.
It's when I say it's oh, that's depressing, I'm not shitting on it. I think it works. I'm just saying it feels like 3 different movies almost.
No, it does, but it's because it goes through I think it goes through an emotional level where it's depressing, and then there's getting some hope, and then finally it's peace. Yeah,
but I would say the last part is conflict. It's the last hour is that battle, or at least 30 minutes. It's a long battle.
Yeah,
and then you get the aftermath.
It's amazing though when everyone comes back in. With the,
it's a great battle.
It's a great scene. It's a good one. What else happened?
It's Lord of the Rings-esque in its battle direction.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It felt like that
when Black Widow dies and they have the whole the her and Hawkeye have the whole battle. You're just oh my god, I don't want either of them to die.
Yeah,
in my head I was okay, Hawkeye's gonna die. Black Widow's got a movie coming out. They're not gonna kill her. They're gonna make more movies of her. And then she dies, and I'm just what? I was oh god. I was happy because I love Hawkeye more than Black Widow, but I was I did not see this coming. I am shocked. And then it's it's a good movie. I liked it in the sense of how it's depressing because it starts off and they go boom, kill Thanos, and you're what the fuck. Then it does a fast forward thing, and then everyone's dealing with it. Fat Thor. G, that was amazing.
That first watch, when having all that build up to that moment, it's very that movie is, you are quiet. You're in there because you're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on after the way Infinity War.
Did you see it when it first came out?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
You saw night of. I saw it.
Yeah, I remember because we're trying to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, It came out, and then our other friend and our other friend. Well, 2 of our other friends, we went to Miami on that same time.
So you guys got to watch it. I think we watched it.
Yeah, we watched it. We watched it in Miami, in there because we just wanted to see it. We avoided spoilers somehow. I don't know how, but we watched it in Miami. You couldn't go because you weren't even 21 at the time, unfortunately.
He's now though. He's went to so many things.
I know that year was. Your parents should have had you earlier. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know what to say to that.
But no, we went to Miami. We saw it there, and the theater they had was pretty cool. It was a cool theater, and then I remember I was okay, finally, I haven't got anything spoiled. Well, except not spoiled after the movie came out, but spoiled the things that were coming out beforehand. Some of the stuff I had some inklings of what might happen, but I didn't get anything spoiled after the fact. I watched it, and I was damn, this is sick. Thanos getting his head chopped off and everything. That was good. And then it was Ant-Man makes a comeback, and his daughter's teenager when he left. She was a kid, and you're just
so yeah. And you're just cried watching that. Again.
Yeah, you're just so sad because you're oh my god, he missed her entire childhood. That sucks.
Yeah, and the way he tries to pick himself up in that moment because he's you're taller, or he says something like that, and he does really good performance.
It's so sad in the beginning, and then the second one is they're trying to get everything going, and oh, we're gonna stop him this time. Yeah. They have the little taco with Hulk comes back. He's he's Hulk and Banner combined, and they give him the little tacos things. That's so funny. There's a lot. You could talk a lot about it.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with Endgame, and I think each movie is good. Yeah. When I say it's split up into, it feels like 3 different movies. I think it's 3 really good movies. It's just that.
Oh, if they wanted to, they could have made Endgame part 1, part 2, part 3 easily.
Yeah, it's just that they added.
I mean, look at The Hobbit.
I know, right? If they wanted to just milk it, they could. I think it's better that it's 1. But when I say that, I'm not saying it's a problem. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is it starts to feel sloppy, especially when because they bring time travel into it.
That
And
time
none
travel
of the
thing
rules
kind of
really
lost.
makes sense.
Well, they kind of addressed. Well, I like the thing where like they're like, Back to the Future was bullshit.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, oh god, that's funny.
Yeah, like you come into the MCU and you know that it's like fun. It's not. This isn't Man of Steel or like Dark Knight, any of the DC universe at the time, where it's very dark and very serious. Like if the Dark Knight had pulled this type of time travel off, if it pulled time travel off in general, it'd be stupid. Like you would think this is all stupid, and you can believe it more with the MCU because of its lighthearted nature, but. You're also coming off of Infinity War, the ending of that, and then you get an hour of let's wallow in like the depression of what this means. So it is taking itself a lot more seriously than other Marvel movies. And then you get to the second movie that I'm talking about, like you get to the second hour of that movie, and it's the time travel shenanigans.
It's like that time travel thing kind of like
normally I would forgive it, but also you're you're trying to take yourself more seriously, therefore I'm going to take your time travel stuff a little more seriously than I normally would, and a lot of it doesn't
my main issue with that one, it was just mainly the time travel thing. I'm like, I love Back to the Future, but like movies that try to like use time travel to like use it as an explanation of why this happened or stuff, I'm like, not much of a time travel movie fan. Some of the stuff I did like Tony talking to his dad, that's America's ass.
Yeah, there's again great moments, and I think that's like throughout all these.
Captain America got the hammer, Fat Thor is just I love Thor.
I know that there's really good surprising moments like Thor cutting his head off and then becoming fat, and it all like his whole like guilt that he's going through of like how he should have aimed for the head basically, and stuff.
Well,
like
that's what he says. He's like, I went for the head, and it's like, that's.
And him talking to his mom at the end.
The talk to his mom was good.
Because
that all happened was during 2, technically, right?
What? Oh yeah, he went back to Thor 2, because that's when he died.
Yeah,
or when she died.
Yeah. God, that makes it even more impactful. Damn.
Endgame does every character justice, and they which is really impressive. It's impressive that how well they do, like how much care they take into every character. Tony Stark, Thor. Captain America, and even Hulk. Hulk to a lesser extent. But the thing that it's not really a lesser extent. The thing is that they fulfill Hulk's character in the beginning. It's like, oh yeah, him and Hulk are now like Banner and Hulk are like at an understanding now. So it's like you kind of start off with like they're already treated, and then you get to the end of Endgame, and it's like now let's do the rest. Let's do Thor. Let's do. Tony Stark, let's do Captain America, and the ending of him finally getting his dance is like so many emotional, touching moments that they handle really well with these characters.
When Iron Man dies and everything. So you remember when the videos came out of like the deleted scenes and stuff of Endgame?
Oh, and what, Gamora takes a knee or something?
No, like Hawkeye starts with the knee.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When I saw that, the first thing that pops in my head is like. Tebow time.
Yeah. I was like, Hawkeye going Tebow.
Yeah. But
I'm trying to think of it.
It's just a lot to talk about.
Thoughts on Endgame. Yeah, there's a lot.
We could go on a whole video about it. It's a lot. It's
the biggest.
Good movie.
The Endgame's biggest problem is that it's sloppy.
Well, to me, it was the time travel. I didn't like the time travel parts. I just don't like time travel that much, and it's like kind of hard to explain or whatever. And they try to explain it, and it's like, but I still liked it.
Yeah, it
made top 10, well, top 6.
I mean, top 6. It didn't make top 5 for either of us.
You're gonna hate my top 5.
The time travel thing is this biggest issue. That's what I mean when I'm like saying it's sloppy. It's that it's really that aspect that like it's not nearly as planned or as thought out as well as everything that's come before it, pretty much. My number 5 is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Okay.
It's great. Like, it's really impressive how that would have been.
You went from hating it to top 5? That's impressive.
It went from not even being in my top, probably even 15, to it's in my top 5. I've already talked about it at length, but it's really just a really tightly made, probably the most tightly put together film out of all these. It works so well as a spy action thriller. like a Mission Impossible. Like it might be one of the best Mission Impossible movies. Tough, maybe it's a tough battle between that and Fallout, but
Yeah, all right, so my number 5. Don't hate me on this. Infinity War is my number 5.
ooh,
Yeah,
Okay.
I loved Infinity War. I was like, it's a good movie. It like introduces, it like tries to bring everyone in together, and that's like when it has the whole thing where it's like happened right after Thor Ragnarok, and the ship being his Thor like in space, and he meets the Guardians. I love him and Peter Quill's interactions. Where it's like that's not a man, that's not a guy. That's a man. You're a dude, and it's just like it's great. It's just great because it's just like the first coming togethers of everything, and then they have the huge fights in Wakanda. You think they're gonna win it because when Thor is pushing his the new hammer down on him. Or his axe or whatever. Stormbringer, yeah. And he's going, and then he just snaps his fingers, and then you're like, oh shit, nothing's happening yet. And then you see like T'Challa going to go get someone, and then boom, he's dead. And you're like, oh my god. And it was crazy. It was a. What do you don't agree with me?
I think
you want to save your opinions for the.
I mean, it made top 5.
Yeah,
It made top 5.
I'm
happy about that.
I loved it. I did love it because it was the first one where everyone came together. And you're just like, oh shit, it's going down, and then it did go down, and then you're just like, damn, that's cool. Like the whole interaction with like Hulk and Banner. And like Hulk's not wanting to go fight him and everything. You're just like, bro, what?
They bring back the Hulkbuster.
Heimdall dies.
I know.
Loki dies, but then he doesn't. That's oh yeah, Loki's alive in Endgame. We didn't say that because of the time travel thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird because it's a different Loki. Like it's Loki before all the character arc happened.
Yeah, it's a different Loki.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I loved it. It was top 5 because it's just everyone coming together, like, all the interactions and stuff, like, and then like Iron Man meets all the Guardians, and I just love them in the ship, and then they're like Doctor Strange, he's like, which master do you serve? And he's like, what do you want me to say, Jesus? Yeah. And I was just like dying. I just love it.
So my number 4 is Captain America: Civil War. I think it's slightly better than Winter Soldier. I think it balances the like Avengers like spectacle with Captain America: Winter Soldier's spy thriller action.
Yeah.
Really good character moments. It's the introduction of Spider-Man into this world, and I think it does Spider-Man justice. Like that one was really exciting when Spider-Man came on. One of my favorite interactions is like when it's like with Falcon, and he says something like, "Oh, I think you dropped this," and he turns and he throws the car at him, and like the interactions between them and just the quippiness of Spider-Man in that movie is so well done.
Yeah.
The whole like, oh, we're this really old movie, Empire Strikes Back, and again, I think those directors handle Spider-Man way better than what the original movies do, or like his standalone films do.
All right, my number 4 is Avengers, the first one.
Okay.
First Avengers. I loved it just because it's like their first meeting together. Everyone's meeting. They're all like none of them like are friends or anything. So there's always like these fightings. Everyone's getting used to each other and stuff. How you said earlier that like quip about the like your brother, he killed all these people. He's like he's adopted, and it's like it's funny. It's just like I love it. There's a lot of funniness. It takes off serious too with like Loki taking over like Hawkeye, mind controlling him. The Doctor's doing everything, like the fighting in New York. It's just a good movie, like solid. We've talked about it for a bit, but I just love it a lot.
I remember thinking about this watching Age of Ultron, where I was like, oh, they're doing more mind control stuff because Scarlet Witch is in it. And then Hawkeye's the only one that doesn't get mind control. He's like, fucking not today, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, no, I don't do that anymore. Yeah. It's like, he gets it.
Because that's why Hawkeye steals a show in Age of Ultron to me. And
Avengers.
I think it's because you don't get much of him in one.
Yeah, because he's mind controlled. But when he does come back, it's like, yeah, he's cool. They got the bow and everything.
Yeah, he's still fun.
Yeah, and then I loved like Hulk in it, or Bruce Banner when like he's like goes to the city and everything. He's like, oh, you might want to go into the Hulk, and he's like, that's my secret cap. I'm always thinking, and just punch that thing.
I love that. I still quote that scene like today.
Yeah,
I still make little jokes like, I'm always angry.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that like Loki played it amazing as the villain because you thought he was like dead, and then it's like, oh no, he's alive, and he's like this dark now, like just serious. He wants to rule everything, and you're like, oh damn, okay.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that you put it above Endgame.
This.
You just why?
I put it above Endgame just because I love it a lot more, just because of how when I first watched it, even now when I still watch it, it still brings me back to when I was younger, and I'm like, oh damn, this is like the biggest thing ever. This is before Endgame and everything, so you at the time you're like, this is so huge. All these heroes are finally meeting, like, oh damn. And you're just like amazed at it, and then after that, it's like, okay, like get to the build up, and Endgame's like, oh shit, like they're all finally like gonna kick Thanos' ass and whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's just like emotional for me. That's why I have it up there.
I get that. So it's a nostalgia thing, more than like okay. I
like sure. Is there a problem with the movie? Yeah, but it's just the nostalgia of it, and like just like if you think about it, like at that time, that was like the biggest thing ever, because like Justice League hadn't done any live action stuff together yet. Yeah, so like at the time you're like, oh shit, it's like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, they're all gonna do this together, and you're like, damn. They have their amazing song, the Avengers song, come on too.
Yeah, it's like the only good song.
Yeah.
Well, like out of all
the
Avengers movies.
Swarmer brought up the Swarmer sales.
The end credit, like that's when they really started. I mean, they were doing it since Iron Man, but like really started getting into like the end credit stuff. Avengers, I get what you're saying. Like it's a lot about the reason why it's above for you is it's a lot of like how it was at the moment. Like at the time, Avengers was huge, and like, but I would say like Endgame at the time was huge. The ending is just as huge as like the beginning, and I think seeing how well they paid off all those moments, the amount of tiny details that they like bring back from Avengers and all the old movies, like little stuff like Tony Stark's daughter is like, I want a cheeseburger. Yeah. And Happy's like, I'll give you all the cheeseburgers. Like little stuff.
Yeah, it's like your dad loved cheeseburgers.
Which does make Endgame even worse when it's like, you get these little details right, and then you flub the bigger stuff like time travel. Like you're like messing with this.
They brought back the kid from the the third one or second?
Yeah, they brought back him from.
I had no idea who he was when I was watching the movie. I was like, who's that kid?
It's good. Avengers 1 is still really good. It still holds up really well. I just think I put it lower because I think Endgame fulfills a lot that better. It's also newer too. Like I mean, I think part of that's because it's newer. They've had years of doing these Avengers movies.
Yeah, like sure, compared to like the new ones, like are they gonna look better and like be a bit better? Yeah, but like I still love it a lot more.
So for my number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I have it at number 3. Bro, you don't even what?
That's fine. It's fine. Go.
Okay.
Go.
I love this movie.
Yeah,
it would have been my like. Honestly, with my top 3, these could probably be interchangeable too. Like, I can make a strong case for Guardians of the Galaxy to be number 1. Or 2 to be number 1. Remember, a lot of people, when Guardians 2 came out, a lot of people like 1 better. They still do. Everybody wants to watch 1. Whenever you bring up Guardians, everybody wants to watch the first one. And, like, I get it. But, like I said, like, that third act drags. It really starts to drag. These action scenes are not like Winter Soldier action scenes. They're not Civil War. Like they're not compelling in that same way with Guardians 1. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 solves it all. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2's villain with ego is great. I think he's one of the best villains out of all of these. His connection with Quinn, it's Quill. His dad, or oh my gosh, sorry. Yeah, Quill.
You're right.
I know. But like his connection with Quill being his dad, like he's a planet. Like there's already that immediate connection to the main character. Quill has a lot of parent issues, like and a lot of father issues. The moment there's those great moments where like the moment he finds out that his dad killed his mom, he just fucking blasts him. Like doesn't matter about when playing catch. All these great character moments they had together, building the relationship. He's like, "Fuck you, kill my mom."
Yeah.
And that pays off in Infinity War a little bit with the way his like emotions getting the best of him when it comes to Thanos.
He's an emotional guy.
Yeah,
he's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. The reason why I like it more than 1 is you see this a lot happen in shows, and it happens in sequels too. Okay. Is you can tell that Guardians of the Galaxy was written, and then they casted the characters. They get Dave Bautista on. They get Chris Pratt on. So, and they do a great job. Like, Chris Pratt brings Quill to life. Dave Bautista brings Drax to life. Zoe Saldana brings Gamora to life. But they weren't in mind when they were written. You get to the sequel, and you can tell James Gunn now is like, I know these characters. We know what they look like, and I can write to their strengths. So, like, Drax in Guardians 2 is fucking hilarious.
Fuck, the thing where he's like, if I move very, very slowly. That's the one happened.
No, that's Infinity War.
Is it Infinity War?
Yeah.
I love that line no matter what. That was the greatest line.
Like, stuff in Guardians 2 with Drax is like how he's constantly shitting on the fucking bug girl.
On Mantis?
Mantis, yeah. He's constantly shitting on her like, you're so ugly. Like, you're so... And it's so...
But he gives like the quote like, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
When you're ugly and someone loves you, you know it's real. It's the beautiful people that have it hard. Yeah. Like, oh god damn.
You get Guardians 1 and you learn these characters' strengths, and now Guardians 2 is let's capitalize on their strengths. Let's amp it up. Let's I think it improves on Guardians 1 in every single way.
All right. Well, my number 3 is Guardians, the first one.
Okay.
So
I'm happy. I was
summation,
worried you're going to put 2 lower than 1.
So you know, I automatically know that 2 is going to be higher. You don't know 1 or 2, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, Guardians, I loved it. I loved it when I saw that Chris Pratt was in it. I loved him in Parks and Rec. Then Dave Bautista, I loved him in like the WWE. So I was like, I love both of them. I'll watch it. I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
So watched it, and I loved it. Like Drax's whole thing where he's like this dude who doesn't get any like metaphors or anything, and it's just like he's just funny as hell. It was funny. It was serious when it needed to be, like that prison scene and everything when they're all fighting and everything. When they're doing their like mug shots or whatever, and Quill does the whole like
thing.
What
Like, you just did.
Yeah, he's like, I had no idea. I had no idea I was gonna do that. It's great. It's a great movie. I agree with you with the whole. It drags on. I loved it. Like, sure, the whole thing where like they put the shield wall to hold the ship down. I was like, y'all could have let go. But it's like, okay, yeah, like they sacrificed themselves to save their planet. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily like the story beats in that moment that bother me. It's just that I think the action scenes drag on. They aren't compelled. Like I said, when I talk about Civil War, when I'm like, you get these great moments of like them fighting a little bit, and then Hawkeye or Black Widow going, "We're still friends." Like those moments that you get where you don't really get that in Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't. It's very boilerplate action scenes. It almost feels like it was directed by somebody else. Like that's why it's a disappointment to me, and why you get to that point, and it's like, all right, let's just get on. Like I want to go back. To not this.
But I do love the first one a lot. I loved the ending, especially like when he finally picks up the soul. What is it? The Soul Stone.
Soul Stone. Right?
He picks it up, and then he's the purple one, yeah. And he picks it up, and he's like dying, and like Ronan knows, or that was his name?
Yeah, Ronan. Also, Ronan sucks. I'm sorry.
Okay, whatever. I mean, was he dumb to try to go against Thanos? Yes, but that's some big balls. He got some big balls. He could do that.
Yeah, but he's just so
good. But he does that, and then he's like smiling because he knows he's gonna die. And then Gamora goes over there to help him, and then like touch him, and it's like he's like, take my hand, and he sees his mom and everything. You're like, damn, and then they all hold the hands, and they're able to beat him and stuff, and it was just like, damn, that's amazing. The dance off and everything, it was like just good.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
It's a great scene. I loved it. It's just
that saves that action scene, like that whole finale.
I don't know. I loved it, and then Yondu, loved him. Oh, fuck. I always forget his actor's name.
Michael Rooker.
He's a great actor. I love him so much and a lot. So.
Thank you, James Gunn, for hiring him. Like you giving him work, because he's such a good actor and he deserves it. Like, you ever watch Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Like fucking him and as Merle. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was great. When he dies and Daryl. Oh.
Mm-hmm. My number 2 is Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
It's, I mean, like, Infinity War to me is good enough to get an Oscar.
Oh.
Like, I think that movie is good enough to win a Best Picture award. Infinity War is a movie that should not work. You're jumping into Infinity War, and we've had all these superhero movies in the past that, like we brought up, Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield ones. Amazing Spider-Man 2 has this problem. It's too many villains, too much shit going on. It's trying to do way too much. And it needs to just, like, slow itself down. Infinity War is a movie that has to do way too much. Like, it has no choice at this point. It's the climactic thing where, like, we have 80 characters that has to juggle. And it works. And it's because they do such a smart thing where that movie is less about the Avengers and it's more about, it's a Thanos origin story, basically. Like, it's a Thanos movie. And they do it they explore everything through Thanos. You get to learn about why he's doing this. You get to, like, they focus the entire movie on building his character as he's going to get these stones to get to the point where he does the snap. And it's like, I remember the whole time watching it, like, he's not going to do it. Marvel's not going to, they're going to pull their punch. They're not going to have him do the snap, are they? Like, because I know, like, at least I went in, like, knowing the comics, like, they're not going to do it. They don't have the balls. They didn't kill, to me, I was like, they don't have the balls because they didn't kill Rhodey. They should have killed Rhodey when Vision hit him. If they pulled their punch there, so they're going to pull their punch here.
I thought Captain America was going to die during Infinity War. But then he didn't die, and I was like, what?
I love that scene where
he's like
when he's holding his hand and you see Thanos like he's like this fucking human just fucking.
Well, he's roided out, so
yeah, but it's interesting that like it's just this interesting moment where like Thanos is a little caught off guard, like oh he can hold me down and he just fucking clocks him. Infinity War is a movie that should not work and yet it does. It's a movie that is not structured like a normal movie should. Like you think about your Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 and stuff, but it does. They find a way to get all these characters in this movie and all get their moments by splitting them up, and they do what they do is they split people up. They bring Rocket and Thor together. You never seen like new combinations, and they put them in different places. Yeah, and that's where you get the tree. This is the moment. This is the movie that sold me on Thor as like, oh, he's like I really love Thor. Like I talked about Captain America was always my favorite. I never cared about Thor until like Ragnarok and then this. But one of my favorite moment I always talk about is with him and Rocket, where he's on the ship talking about like all the people that he's lost. He's like, my brother's dead, my mom's dead, my dad's dead. Like
I killed my sister.
My
best friend got stabbed through the heart.
It's this moment. It's Chris Hemsworth does probably the best acting I've ever seen him do in that scene, like of any movie. He is really like you can see him like powering through. Like I need to be the stoic god that I am. I can't be like depressed. Like I can't show my like weaker side. But he's describing all this stuff, and he's like basically explaining like this is why it's important to me. I got to stop Thanos. Like I'm going to kill him. I'm gonna do it. But like you get that moment where he's like I got to do it, and Rocket's like, well, what if you don't? And then you see the moment of like him like contemplating like losing and like how that would like hurt him. Like it's such a good moment.
I loved it when he's like, he's never fought me, and he's like, well, he did, and he lost. He's like, well, he's never fought me twice.
Yeah,
and I'll have a new hammer.
It's
right. Well, by that knowledge, I know what your first one is, and I am very happy with that.
And I know what your first one is too. But all right.
So my number 2 is Guardians 2. I loved it. Yondu's story in that, him and Rocket's story, I loved their whole conversations on it.
What you talk about Yondu? I'm like fucking bro.
No, like
I didn't. I'm like
no, yeah, no, because I knew what I wanted. Because Yondu's like in the first one, you thought Yondu's this asshole dude, doesn't care about Quill, nothing. Second one, you realize that's like he raised Quill, like that's Quill's dad. Like that gets you, and then you realize that him and Rocket have like the same story basically, where Rocket's like an asshole to everyone, pushes everyone around, and then like he realized like I will become like Yondu. No one's gonna love me, and like that. And then it's just so emotional. And then like when they're having the whole fight and everything, and it's like he loses like almost every one of his crew members that were loyal to him, except for that one guy. I forgot his name. What's his name?
It's James Gunn's brother.
Yeah, it's his brother. I forgot his name though. But
yeah. I'll just say Sean.
Kraglin's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kraglin's his name. That was a good scene. When he knows he's gonna sacrifice himself, when he tells Rocket like a jetpack and the atmospheres thing, Rocket does it when they're like flying off, and like thought the acting there was great. Or even like Dave Bautista, he does it like Rocket, where's Quill? When they're flying off on the ship, and you're like, oh shit. Gamora and her sister having the whole thing, and they like reconcile. That was good. Team
Fucking
Rocket.
that crash. It's so that scene's so funny to me.
What, Rocket the
it's
crash
just
scene?
Gamora just chilling, and then the fucking Nebula
just comes in on the ship. Yeah. No, but like I thought Ego was like a good thing. Like you think he's this goody two shoes guy. Like, oh, it's cool as dad, but he's a planet. That's why he had to be away or whatever. And then you realize like, no, he's been killing all his children, and you're just like, oh my fucking god. I love the thing where it's like Drax is like, how did he have sex with your mother? He's a planet. He would crush her. And you're just like, oh, you're just funny. I love it. Him and Mantis' whole thing, I loved it. I loved Mantis, who was new, and I loved it. I loved when like they're fighting and they have the posting, and something hits Mantis, and he just goes, Mantis, look out! I just love that movie. Very emotional, especially when they're like, Yondu's gonna die when they're flying up, and he's like, he may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy, and you're just like, oh! I loved Sylvester Stallone being in it, Miley Cyrus being in it in the little end when they all come back. Did you know those were the original Guardians of the Galaxy? That's supposed to be the original. A lot of people didn't know that, but that was supposed to be the original. So I like that. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch right there. So I love that. I liked it. I liked the story that they gave Yondu, because you're like, why did he do that? And then you realize like he took all these kids over because he got all the money, and then he kept Quill because he's like, he found out why. So he's really like good guy. He didn't know what was going on with the kids, or he didn't want to know. Then when he finally did realize, he's like, I'm not gonna send this kid to go die.
It just that movie.
It's a good movie. It's better than the first one in my opinion. I love it a lot more.
Yeah, it capitalizes on all those characters and like exponentially. Like it's just such a.
I love the fight scene between Quill and his dad when they're in the cave system or whatever, and then
I'm gonna do some weird shit.
I loved Baby Groot was cool too in that one. That was good.
With the whole button.
The button thing, and it's like we're all gonna die.
Well, I think we both have the same number one. Then,
yeah, we do, and I'm proud of you for choosing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Thor Ragnarok is our number one.
Number one is Thor Ragnarok for both of us.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
You can start it.
This movie, it just nails it from start to finish. It comes off of Thor 1 and 2. Obviously, for me, Thor 1 and 2 are very low on this list. I never thought I would care for a Thor movie.
I love Thor.
But they brought Taika Waititi on. He's an amazing director.
Jojo Rabbit was great.
Yeah, he's it's good visual flair. The music in this movie is super underrated. It gives the entire film this Saturday morning cartoon type of feeling, and it adds perfectly to what's going on the screen. You could tell they reworked Thor's character a lot.
Completely different.
Yeah, he's kind of like, and it all for the better. He's now this like quirky. And he's this quirky like jokester now. It's interesting because they reworked him, but you do see it in Avengers. Like he's the same kind of. It's just more pronounced now. Like what we talked about, where the part where he's like, "Well, my adopted brother." Yeah. Like you get. It's just that times 10 now. Like they amped it up.
Yeah, because 2 got so dark and it was like so like that. I mean, I still liked it, but it was like very like that. It is my least favorite, but the third one is like picked it up, amped it. Him and like Hulk having their whole thing and Banner and everything. Yeah, it was just great.
It's funny because it kind of paints him as pathetic. Like he's a god and he's strong and almighty, but he's also this awkward, pathetic kind of dude that just gets like.
Kate Blanchett did amazing as Hela.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Breaks Mjolnir, and I was like, oh shit!
I know, right?
Doctor Strange makes a cameo with it.
Yes, I love that. I love the Doctor Strange moment.
The beer thing.
I love that beer thing. That's such a subtle thing, but like the fact that like he chugs this whole beer sitting down, and then Doctor Strange teleports him, and he's standing, and he's like fucking drunk. It's just funny.
I love with the Loki when he's like they finally bring. He's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and any movie that references one of my all-time favorite movies, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, is good on my book. The whole like when he gets wheeled in and the music playing.
That was good. I liked Odin when Odin dies. I thought that was very like oh shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole like new Asgard thing. Mm-hmm. The way the ending goes, where it's like, well, we gotta like Asgard is a people, not a place.
Korg,
that realization.
I loved
Korg's-
Korg.
oh,
Korg's
yeah.
amazing. Taika Waititi played that amazing. I
Piss
loved
off,
it.
Ghost.
Piss off.
Kicks the
That's
wall.
just like that's a good one. He's like, "Hi, my name's Korg."
Yeah.
It's just great. I loved when like they break out of the jail. Well, Valkyrie breaks him out of the jail, and he gives the gun. He's like, "The revolution has begun." I quote that all the time at work. I'm always like, "The revolution has begun," and I love it. It's a good. It's just great.
Yeah, there's
a lot to love about
it's
that
just
movie.
such a good comedy, such a well written script.
It's
Such-
it's comedic, and then it gets serious.
yeah.
And then you have like all of Thor's friends just die, and you're just like, "Bro, what?"
Mhm.
Like I was just like, "No way!" And like all these people are dying. Heimdall is like banished, so he's like on the run, helping other people escape or whatever. And you're just like, "God damn!"
Allowing them to improv and stuff with their jokes, and like you could tell that like everybody's having fun on the set. Taika Waititi's a really good visual director. He loves his symmetry, almost like Wes Anderson-y. You get a lot of that from like the way, but like in like a heavy metal sense, like in the beginning with the dragon coming at him.
Yeah.
And it's like this perfect like what's the word I'm looking for?
Matt Damon makes a
Profile
cameo.
Yeah, Matt Damon makes a cameo.
That was great.
Apparently he's supposed to be back in 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd
apparently
be
they're
great.
bringing him back.
That'd
That's
be great. I love that.
awesome.
I loved him, and I was shocked. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Matt Damon." I love that. I love the intro of it when he's just like talking to the skeleton. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I think you're wondering why I'm here." And then it's like, then when like he's on the spinning thing of the chair,
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
is
"Oh wait,
spinning.
wait,
Yeah.
hold on, let me wait around." Oh,
Oh,
that was great. It's great. It's a great movie. That finals fight on the bridge, that's amazing.
Yeah, and like the part where Hulk jumps off and doesn't transform.
Oh yeah, that's great. Oh, what's his name? The executioner.
I forget his name. It's the
I
talking
forget his character.
I forget his name, but I know the actor.
No, Carl Urban. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I forget his character's name.
Yeah, me too.
What was his name? I loved Carl Urban in his like little arc of like he's just trying to be this great warrior, and then he finally like he thinks he'll be there with Hela. He doesn't, and then he sacrifices himself with Des and Troy because together they're Des Troy. And I love
Troy.
that. He was just
Oh, his
great.
name is just Executioner, I guess.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he's credited as.
Okay, so I love that. It was just comedy, and then it's like sadness and stuff because he dies trying to protect Asgard because he goes like for Asgard uses his guns, and then when
Yeah, like such a small character that never like gets introduced in this movie. And again, like what I was saying about Black Panther, and like this one's even smaller. It's just like being able to introduce just like a random side character and give him a character arc.
yeah, like he's got the emotions because he's
Fill on that-
yeah
like,
because
on
he's
their
like
whole
he
thing.
thinks he'll be this thing with Hela, then he sees like, oh damn, these are all my friends and they're dying, and then he can't do it, and it's like, well, he's like, I'm in too deep and stuff like that. So it's good. I loved when the ending when like they're like, we have to destroy Asgard, so they bring Surtur back, and then Hulk goes after him. He's like, but and it's like, no, let him.
And the whole like feud between not feud but like the strongest Avenger when he goes into the ship and then oh yeah, we didn't even talk about
Jeff Goldblum's in it. He does amazing in it. Oh, I love that. As
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's great on it. I loved it. I love the arena scenes when they're fighting and everything, and he's getting his butt kicked. Thor is by Hulk, and Loki just goes, "How does that feel?" And
Yeah.
it's just like a throwback to the first
Throwback
one.
to the Avengers.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh god, that's just great. I loved it.
yeah.
It's just good all around.
It's a really solid script, really tightly paced.
And then it goes after. Then it like very much quickly. The end just transitions into Infinity War when like you see Thanos' ship go, and you're just like, oh fuck.
And it's kind of a good like with it leading straight into Infinity War. It's a good like breather, like this just pure fun. Like it has its serious moments obviously, but like a pure fun adventure with like Thor and Hulk, right before fucking Thanos killed everybody pretty much.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Honestly, my top 3 could be interchangeable. They're all really great, but
No, my top 2 are set. Mine aren't interchangeable. I would stand
Thor
by
Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok will always be my number 1, and then it'll be Guardians 2.
yeah, Thor Ragnarok. I just think is the most solid one. I'd never like. I won't get tired of that movie.
No, it's great. Like Taika Waititi wrote and started to make good. Like, it was just great. Like, I had no idea who he was, and then I, like, once after that, I was just like, I was sold on it. Like, we saw Jojo Rabbit, and I loved that, and I was just like, it's great.
Watch more of his stuff. It's really good. Wow, that's the list.
Yeah.
We did it. I think we're at like almost 2 hours with this one.
Damn.
Wow.
That was a lot to unpack. We
No.
could have gone more in depth, but that...
We really could have. We could, like, I could do a podcast on Infinity War.
Yeah.
Probably. We could go a lot more in depth, but this is a really good... I'm really happy with how our list turned out. I'm happy we agreed on the what really matters, the number one.
I am still a little bit upset on some of your picks.
On my other Thors?
Yes. On your
Hey, man,
Thor
Thor
and the
wasn't
Guardians.
What? I mean, come on. Guardians 2 is number 3.
Yeah, I know.
I have problems with Guardians 1. What can I say?
I guess.
I think Guardians 2 is a better sequel.
I guess, yeah. We'll agree to disagree. I know I was right.
All right, that's the show. That's our first podcast thing, I guess. Thanks for watching. I guess I should say like and subscribe to Suit and Tyler.
I have nothing, so don't do anything for me.
And he has nothing.
Yeah.
Bye.
Don't follow me on anywhere.